guys! Welcome back to another Heroes of Histaeria, Sandsea Saga, right here, Delta Cryptid channel. We are... Don't think we had any sort of announcements, so we're going to hop right into it. Okay. We are returning to the dried riverbed of the Corluat. Our band of heroes have successfully escaped the cavern in which they discovered an ancient Yuan-Ti temple. They have vanquished mutant gorillas, vicious bloodhawks, deranged cultists, and even came up against the undead. You have managed a daring rescue of the crew of the Wild Hunt, and you are about to see them safely delivered to the Froggrove. And still, though, our heroes have elected to postpone resting on their laurels, as you have made prisoners out of 3 of the Yuan-Ti. You have questions that need answering. So, the sky above you is a pale yellow with swaths of light green tinged throughout. The air is incredibly humid. With the dying of foliage all around you, their last stretches of life-giving water evaporating second by second. The air is dank and steeped with the scent of rotting vegetation. Your vehicle is stopped, and you have 7 individuals sitting in the truck bed, awaiting your orders. 4 goblins, 3 Yuan-Ti, and the crew of the Wild Hunt, preparing to continue south into the Froggrove. How are we doing?
Approach Cassius?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know that you're heading back first. We don't know any of the connections between the people back at the Froggrove and those who took you. If you could be as vague as possible with Captain Idris and his crew until we suss out what's happening here, I think it would be in your best interest.
Cassius, who's Captain Idris?
Oh,
There is going to be a Yuan... Sorry, yeah.
You'll notice him. He's tall and has a truly ridiculous blade. It's extremely long. Mask of stone, looks like a snake. Can't miss him.
Are you saying another one of these guys?
We don't know whether or not he is an ally or not. He might be. I'm asking you not to attack. I'm asking you to say as little as possible to him. Maybe not tell him that it was Yuan-Ti.
He's been an ally so far. We hope that he remains one. But with what we've seen, I can't be sure.
All right. Well, I owe you guys my life. And more than that, I owe you guys the life of my crew. I'll keep an eye on him. I'll make sure they do too. You're okay if I tell the captain, Hammond?
He's your captain. He deserves to know.
I appreciate that.
We just ask no action be taken against him either.
Well, we're not in much condition to do any fighting right now anyway.
That's fair enough.
When Ulrich finds us, you can see, you get a shudder. You can see this Cassius, who is a Leonin of some stature, who you've seen wield weapons with expert proficiency, shudders at the thought of coming up against Ulrich.
You're afraid of a little boy?
Yeah, you try being his patient.
That's fair.
All right. Well, you guys looks over to the Yuan-Ti, looks over to the goblins, and goes, "Take care of yourselves. We'll see you back at the ship." And is going to just quickly try to drive off here.
Oh no, please.
Please fail.
That is a natural 1 and an 8.
No.
It is a disadvantage because exhausted. So the car jerks and stalls out. Yeah. Starts it up again. You guys take care. And hits the gas and continues to roll forward. Very kind of jerky as they're still in first gear for a while and then kind of eventually shift over to second.
You know, Crest, they seem so much cooler than any of their actions I've ever shown them to be.
They're tired. You have to give them a break.
Yeah.
You weren't that far. We could have let them walk like vehicles.
No!
My vehicle. My
No,
transmission.
you get one. You can only drive one.
So I'm gonna, as I'm saying, I'm taking out some salts, I'm mixing it up, and I'm gonna start casting comprehend languages. Still casting it in the meantime. Just to have that up.
So you got 10 minutes on that cast. 10 minutes until I can jump back to Luna. Anything that you guys would like to do in that 10 minutes? Yeah.
I think I just want to try and huddle everyone up, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah, I think we kind of are huddled.
Yeah, okay. So, my interrogation skills usually end with me either getting drinks or killing someone. So, I think neither of those options are really what we're going for.
Yes, and they did just watch me slaughter a lot of the brethren, so I'd be more getting fear-based answers than anything. So I think that kind of leaves you, Pim. Are
Me?
you up to the task?
Oh gosh, I don't know. You really think so? I mean, I've never really done this before.
I mean, every time I've seen you been able to talk off just about anybody's ear, it's been quite impressive. So I think if anybody can make them feel comfortable in giving us information, leave it to be Pim. I just rest my hand, like I squat down, rest my hand on Pim's shoulder.
I slump a little bit from the weight of your arms.
You can do it.
Okay, well, I'll do my best. I'll certainly try.
And don't worry, if they give you a hard time, I'll be right behind you. I am very good at making them scared.
All right, well, what do we want to know? I mean, I know there's a lot of stuff about the whole slumbering serpent, their goals, their intentions. What do you want me to try to find out?
Cress will hand him the book of the Cabal of the Sleeping Serpent that they found in the wreckage of the Honor. We want to find out who this belongs to, because there's a decent chance it belongs to Idris. But maybe there's another explanation. We want to know their relationship to him. We want to know what they're doing out here, why they're desecrating the land. We know that they have connections to the Northwest. We want to know about them.
Are they possibly from the Northwest, because they weren't part of the main camp when we first arrived? And one of them, I mentioned Idris by name, and he responded confused as to why I would be bringing him up.
Which
So,
Yeah.
that one.
There we go.
one? So there's I remember you saying they all kind of seem to be the same rank, right? But there's one who's a little more confident,
Yeah.
one
So
who's a little more meek.
what are your passive insights? What do we have for passive insights? Or if you want to roll like a
15.
direct
I
15.
forgot my character sheet.
You did tell us this at the end of the last session.
Yes.
not this week.
So there's one who is the one that Lyke is captured in the ruins. Right? This person appears to be in kind of like their 20s, maybe. Bald. As you kind of see them now sitting there amongst the lineup, a tattoo of a coiled serpent on the back of the head. And they look very, very reserved. Then there is the one that Cress captured in the encampment. This one is young. This one is maybe like late teenagers, if anything, right? Easily can see that this one is nervous. He's got long hair. He's got these kind of like soft almond-shaped eyes, but he is the tallest and lankiest of the group as he's just not quite filled out yet. Then there's the last one. This is the one that Edenor captured in the ruins as well. This one has a shock of black hair, very cunning eyes, and a scar that kind of goes over his left eye as he's kind of just like taking in the camp. While the first one is stoic, the middle one is like obviously nervous, the kid. This one is very measured and really, you can sense calculating. And those are your three prisoners.
Okay. Which one did you talk to about Idris? Get the reaction about Idris?
Middle one?
The first one. The bald one.
Okay. You know, I think it'd be smartest to talk to the younger ones first.
I think we should separate them.
Yes, I think we should separate them, talk to them individually. The thing is, I can only use my magic once. You know, I can charm one, well, I can charm one person or two at the same time.
Oh, how about the two who are a little more sure of themselves you charm? And the last one, if he sees them following suit, is likely to, you know.
True.
We could try and crack the young one first.
You might not need magic to crack that one.
True.
I think is what
Exactly.
Lycus is saying.
I completely concur. But
Once he sees his betters giving in to us, there's no chance he won't. He's gonna hold out.
So I'm at the point in my resources where I can charm two of them, or I can charm one of them and try to make them tell only the truth.
Okay, why don't, if you guys think it's a good idea, Pim, Ednor, with your fear and sweet talking and magic, convince the first two to talk to you as much as you can, get as much information as you can out of them. Cress, you are surprisingly capable to get to know someone. You seem very welcoming. Maybe you try to calm the young one down while he watches the other two be interrogated, so you can get any information out of him as sort of a friend.
All right.
If you guys don't mind, I think I'm going to talk to the goblins, see what they saw. Might as well get every information we can.
not sure what information you could get out of those sacks, but do what you will.
Edenor, I need you to not talk like that anymore. We gotta have a conversation about civility.
Goblins
Edenor,
are
how
not
loudly are you
civil.
speaking?
This is probably whispers because we're talking just in a group.
And
Hi.
Luna is...
Roll me a stealth check real quick.
Except for the goblin part. I'm gonna say that one a little loud.
Oh, you don't have to roll a stealth check then.
Edenor.
Something I would have been done by now then.
Yes, while they're doing this, yeah. We'll say that took about 10 minutes or so, if you guys are cool with that, and then we'll say, Luna, your comprehend languages is up and running.
I'd like to mention that I do have a spell that can make them more easily succumb to pressure.
That'll be useful. I'd like to just speak to the one, number one, young 20s, bald head.
Okay, young 20s bald head, the confident one
Alone.
that is captured. Okay.
I don't know. Think you could help me out and bring him over to that tree over there?
My pleasure. Yeah.
So
Thanks,
Pim,
buddy.
Pim and Edenor are doing the confident one. Cress.
It's the reserved one. I think.
This is the reserve.
Yeah, this is like the
mid-level
confident
one.
reserved one. Yeah, the mid-level one. I got you.
Yeah, not the cunning one.
Not the cunning one. Cress is with the kid, is what I understand. Okay. And Lycus, you are with the goblins.
Yeah.
Luna, you are going through the papers.
Yeah. So if you're going with the reserved one, because that's the one that's probably the
Hardest to crack, I think.
yeah. So because
The
It's
cunning
not a-
one's gonna be the hardest to crack. I
Well,
think.
if anyone might lie, but it'll throw all their information out. I think the reserved one would be the hardest one to actually get words out of because it'd rather not say anything than say stuff.
I'll say this: Bane is 30 feet. So depending on how far you take it, if you do like 30 feet away, then I can cast them both. But you have like a minute, and you have to like be fast.
Well, okay, so what I'm
Hold
gonna
off
do,
on the Bane until call it in. Then, if it's only.
I'll give you the signal. This is the signal.
I just, it's just imagine like Pim just going, all right then.
Oh
You'll know it when you see it.
Finale.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, so Luna, you're going through papers, or you're
Yeah, let's say I'm just gonna hang out on the. They're on the rest of the goblin stuff. They're like in the back of the car.
Yeah, they're like in the truck bed.
Let's say I'll just sit on the front seat.
Okay.
Within view of.
Okay, so you're in the front seat going through the papers.
If that's within 30 feet of where they are.
That's up to the party, yeah. If the party takes them within 30 feet.
That's fair.
Then sure. Yeah, you guys can easily find, I mean, it is, you can find like a little thing that's maybe, behind like a boulder or behind, a bunch of down trees or something that you can kind of get a little bit out of sight, but within 30 feet.
Cress is also not leaving the cunning one alone. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Yeah.
We're not leaving him on his own.
Yeah, because he would be right now staying in the car, I'm assuming, with Luna and the goblins.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I thought he was outside as well. Okay, so
I mean, you can put him wherever you want.
We'll put him in the car for now, just so he can be looked after.
Just like, yeah.
Because Lycus is also going to be there.
All right, just chill in the
So
front
they're
seat.
all separated. Okay.
All right. Okay, so tell you what, let me do Luna first real quick, right? So I can give you what you get from those documents and stuff that you're looking at, okay? So you can kind of chew that stuff over. Let's see, so you guys collected a few different pieces of literature and documentation. You have the material that you found in Telod's tent, where you found the Bloodhawk. You have some material that Cassius gave to Cress that was recovered from the cultists' tent.
Yeah.
We have some papers from the desk that Cress got as well.
And Akasha's notes.
And Akasha's notes, yep. So those are your 4 sets of literature, essentially. Okay? So, So we'll start with Telod's tent. We'll just kind of make our way down to Akasha's notes for you, okay? You find in Telod's notes, you had looked at these previously, right? With your photographic memory, your eidetic memory, you're able to just kind of glance through and glean a bit, right? In detail, though, you find handwritten notes where he describes the rush of augmenting his magic, his druidic power, by drawing on the elemental life force of the world. You see there was a section following that where he expressed appreciation to an individual named Ankh, A-A-N-Q, for their creation of the Girolons. And again, you see him kind of waxing poetic. This looks like a personal journal. You see him kind of waxing poetic about how he is surprisingly impressed that such useful guardians were created from the notoriously lazy bugbears. You consider this creature, he considers this creature a fair trade for Akasha's Broodguard formula. He assumes that this formula will be delivered to Yehi. Y-E-H-I. Luna, as you're studying this, what is your passive investigation?
17.
With the 17, you recognize his handwriting. His notes and his handwriting is identical to the notes that Cress found.
Notes in this book is identical to the notes Cress found within the cave?
Within the salvage.
Within the salvage from the wreck.
Mm-hmm.
That one? Okay.
Moving on, we get to the cultists' tent, right? So this is the stuff that Cress found, that Cassius gave over to Cress from the tent. You discover orders, right? And I should mention, the script in this is actually a little bit different. It's not, in fact, your comprehend languages is very appropriate because this is not written in common. This is written in some sort of strange draconic. You discover orders to claim to be part of the Sanguine Sodality. A reminder that being hidden and harming their reputation is the goal.
Clarifier on that there. Harming the reputation of the Sodality is the goal?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's the goal of the cult, then? You're saying?
Yeah. Well, you
Slumbering
could
serpent.
yeah. Then the material from the campfire that Cress recovered is a drafted message to someone named Zultash, Zhultshah. And it is actually the format of a report. It's a report detailing the recent incursion of undead from the holes in the lower caverns, and that some have attacked the upper camp. But despite this setback, Akasha's production of brood guards is going ahead of schedule due to an influx of prisoners. Again, Telot's handwriting. Then we come to the materials that you guys got from Akash, right? So there's a few different things amongst the loot that was given. First off, there is a vial of some sort of strange, like, jade-colored liquid, this kind of like viscous green material, and as it kind of catches the light, right, and it froths, you see that it actually leaves these kind of red-orange kind of bubbles. There is some handwritten notes as well, though. There's some papers. So there's a message from Zultash regarding the ongoing search for the final temple, the Temple of Phantasm. The message includes details about a mission to be led by Yehi into the strange city that fell out of the sky. The Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent want to investigate the storms surrounding the city, and they are relentless and causing things to go much slower. There is a remark here in this message that there seems to be powerful enchantment magic emanating from the city. And then the last piece of writing you find seems to be a type of magic. It seems to be details for a spell. Looking at it, it seems that these details in the notes are recorded off of the murals in the Temple of Sleep. So Luna, you recognize that this is a type of magic, a unique spell. Roll an Arcana check.
Also be safe and do identify it.
If you want.
Let me try.
That's going to be just fine. Yeah. You succeed at identifying that this is a spell. While this is not a spell scroll, this is a spell that you can copy into your notes. And with that Arcana check, you can use this magic, you think. You can potentially find a way to cast this spell.
Okay.
The last thing that was given to you that was on Akasha's person is a strange glass syringe. And as you handle that item, you are aware that it is magical. Now, Luna, you're probably one of the few members in the party. I would say maybe Luna and Edenor that would really recognize this immediately as a syringe. This is, I don't know if Lycus would recognize a syringe. They're not super common outside of like medical fields and stuff like that. Cress, I could see Cress having seen one. Pim, okay, Lycus, you're probably the only one that would recognize it. Upon hindsight, sorry. But yes, Luna, you recognize that you have a magical syringe in your hands as well. And that is everything, I believe.
So, for now, I mean, I might interrupt myself as the investigation goes on to see the signal. But I'll take out my pearl from my pouch and I'll try and identify in the meantime on the vial and the glass syringe.
Okay, so another 10 minutes on identify.
Yeah. It's likely it might get interrupted, but let's just say for now
You're starting it. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's hop over to Lycus. You were talking to the goblins.
I sure am.
All right. So as you approach, you can see that 3 of the goblins are fairly, like huddled close together. There is one goblin though who appears a bit more shrewd, a bit more inclined to talk. And as you are approaching, roll me a quick perception check.
With pleasure and gusto, my friend.
Excellent.
All
Expect
right.
nothing less.
That's the spirit.
Great. So many tabs up. Alright, so that's unfortunately 8 on the roll. There you are. I forgot to open up D&D Beyond. I opened
You're
up
fine.
2 roll 20s instead.
You're fine. You're fine.
Was that a roll 40 then?
Can I? Let me just say, as he's doing this quickly, I will, before casting Identify, because I know Pim and Edenor are away. Cress, you're out by another prisoner as well, right?
I'm just sitting
Yeah.
with the kid. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just gonna cast 2 messages then, and relay what I just heard to them, to him and then Cress.
What you read? All of that information?
Surprised it.
Amazing.
seconds.
Thank you.
Okay. We can just say you guys have that information kind of going into
Message got no limits.
Yeah, you just have to point.
Yeah, he just keeps going.
Cantrip.
You're just not gonna tell your buddy Edenor, huh?
That's what Pim's for.
So, Lycus, what was your perception?
Perception is luckily a +5, so that's 13.
13 is actually still a decent roll, and this is not super hard. As Pim and Edenor are walking away, you see that this goblin, that one that is, again, more shrewd, taking more of a leadership role amongst the group, is watching Pim closely.
I walk up to the truck bed and just kind of slam my hands on it as big as I can and jump up. What's up, Gombonis? Nice to meet you. My name's Lycus D. Stratus. What are your names? I'm not gonna remember them, but I'm gonna try.
The lead goblin kind of looks over to you and goes, name's Clink. We got here Crackle, Snapple, and Poppy.
I might actually remember that.
Oh my god.
That's amazing names. Holy shit, you guys are cool. Well, we'll see. So, I'm more or less the captain of this little crew, and we're just trying to figure out who you guys are. We're bringing you back to a important place for me. It's like a home. So, I want to talk to you guys, get to know you, but I just want to, if you don't mind, just a quick intimidation, just to let you know what's going on. If you hurt my family and friends, I will gut you and hang you from your intestines as a warning. But I don't want to. I like you guys so far. You know.
Roll
Family.
intimidation.
All right, that's great. 18.
You see the 3 goblins. You know that goblins are used to their society is very hierarchical, right? They're used to being kind of kicked around. They're used to kind of being kind of on the bottom of their society. Despite their habituation, they shudder. The 3 back down, right? And they kind of like huddle a little bit closer together. You see one of them like visibly shaking. You see the lead one though. She's definitely intimidated. Oh, hey, I didn't know we were prisoners or anything.
You're not prisoners. You're 100% free to go. I'm just letting you know that if you bring you home and you cause trouble, it's not just you. If any of these people, even if they're my crew, if they cause trouble to my family, these frog folk protected me, I will defend them. So, no offense, I'm just letting you know you're a stranger, you know?
I guess I get it. Hey, if it makes life a little bit easier for you, we'd rather not even go to your home. If you just let us go, we'll just make our way out of here.
I mean, if that's really what you want, we have the chance to offer you a little bit of protection. I'm not sure if you've noticed, but this world is garbage, and the monsters are somehow worse. And
Looks over to the UNT that had them prisoner earlier and go, yeah, maybe a little bit more than just the monsters.
yeah. And that's kind of what I wanted to, chat with you guys about. Why the hell were you in there? I mean, were you fighting the UNT? Were you just in the wrong place?
Ambushed. They came up on us in the middle of our camp. We were taking a rest. They got past our lookouts. Next thing we knew, they had a bunch of guns pointed at us. Brought us back, put us in some lightning cages, and then started taking us away, one by one. Never saw them again. Good legionnaires. You see these guys actually like us. They're dressed, as you kind of now are talking to them a little bit longer. Roll an investigation. Your best skill.
Yeah. Hey, I rolled a 10, so 9.
Yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't quite. Their clothes seem. I'll tell you this: their clothes seem familiar. You can't place where, but they seem familiar. Yeah, we were out on a scouting mission, and bastards jumped us.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Tell me
Is this your whole team, or did more of you not really make it?
A few of us didn't make it, unfortunately. A couple died in defense of the camp, and then at least another two were taken. At least two more were taken away while we were at that temple. No idea what happened to them.
I have a small idea of what happened to them. It's not great.
I imagined it wasn't.
Listen, I'm just curious. I've met a few goblins in my time. Not that that really means much of anything, except that I know some like to be a part of certain groups that tend to get up to some bad habits of finding and enslaving and causing some trouble. Are you predisposed to causing this kind of trouble, Clank?
Listen. We're all part of the conquering host. You may not know this, but our people are ready. We're gonna be moving forward. So if that means we gotta take a few slaves here and there, it's gonna be the cost of getting our world back.
Okay, I see.
We're goblins, man.
Clank, you're putting me in a tough position here.
Hey, I'm not looking to take you as a slave.
No, but I am not a big fan of the concept. I'm not gonna stop you, because I haven't seen you do anything untoward so far. But allow me to offer you a countermeasure. You want to take back this world, right? You and your people.
We want to save the world.
And, I think I do too. How about instead, you consider joining forces with us? You may currently think you're following a god and looking for them for help, but I can offer you, me. and I'm more than willing to take on some god.
Well, your confidence may be reassuring, but if it's just you and your crew here, I'll take my chances with our legion.
Okay. I offer them my hand, just like a handshake. If I see you out there with slaves in tow, I'm gonna kill you. But why don't you just go ahead and get out of here before the others find out? I'll go take a piss. You can run away. And just remember that I did this.
Yeah, I wanted to roll if Ednor sees this.
Edenor, you can roll a perception check, and Luna, you can roll a perception check. And yeah, keep it. Actually, Cress, you're very perceptive. You can also roll a perception check. You're not far away, too.
Roll the 15s.
Luna,
Yeah,
you're
But I'm also focusing on things, so.
okay.
I
Can
rolled
I-
a 15.
Can I roll stealth?
Wow.
Like I'm
To kind of like tell you what, like if you want to actively sneak them out, you can roll stealth. If you want to cause some kind of distraction or something, you can. I'll also take that. But ultimately, they're going to roll their own stealth checks as well.
what to do. Ugh.
I have so many questions for them, and you're just gonna let them lead, you butthead.
Oh, if Ednor has a choice, they will not be getting far.
No, I understand. I'm sorry. These are strong beliefs that I have to uphold. I am very sorry.
I have
also have
questions
speed.
for them.
They're
No,
very
it's
slow
Wait.
right now.
Yeah.
Huh?
Oh,
very
They
slow
are
right
exhausted.
Ednor will find them.
So it's gonna be like an awkward
Which
stealth
I
away.
will say this. I will say this. They are very slow right now. They are as exhausted as the other prisoners. Your offer to leave is considered. And they're gonna say, tell you what, it's all the same to you. Maybe we come back to your town, we rest up, then we'll be on our way.
Fine. Just remember my warnings. Clank,
Looks-
crackle, snapple, pop, pee. Have a, good day. I'm just gonna hop out of the truck bed.
Catch you later, Captain. The Plink says. Okay. I will say, Edenor, you are somewhat far away, right? So you, even with your perception check,
Okay.
your DC is higher
Okay.
than it is for Luna and Cress, for example, because they are a little bit more immediate. Luna
We
and
all
Cress.
rolled 15s.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow,
Yep.
that's pretty fucking incredible. I will
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 14 plus 1. But
Okay.
we all ended up at 15 something.
I will say, because the DC is kind of adjusting based on distance for each of you.
Okay.
Luna, you catch most of this exchange between Lycus and the goblins. Cress, you catch Lycus leaving the truck and the goblins going from kind of intimidated to discussing amongst themselves very quickly, right? And you catch just the barest glimpse of a smile on Clink's face. Edenor, you see Lycus go into the truck. It's in there for a moment, and you see him kind of hop out. Very casual. All right? Okay. So, let's see. Cress, let's do you and your Yuan-Ti. So you have the shy fellow, the adolescent of the group, right? Longer kind of like hair. You know, he's in that phase where he thinks long hair makes him. So kind of like a soft kind of young face, almond eyes, and as you guys kind of like get a little bit of distance from the other Yuan-Ti and from the car, with your insight, your passive insight alone, you can tell he starts to kind of visibly relax, whether it's being away from everything else or or being away from something specific, that's a little bit trickier to discern. That might be like an active check, but you can see that as you guys are kind of walking away, right, he's a little bit more relaxed until he sees the sight of Cuthbert. Then he kind of freezes up again.
He's not gonna hurt you.
Mm.
Unless you try and hurt me, then he will, but I don't think you're gonna do that.
No. Hey, Cuthbert, no, I swear I wouldn't.
What's your name?
Jinzo.
Jinzo?
Jinzo. Jinzo. His accent makes it sound.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Hi, Jinzo. I'm Cress. So
It's,
I think...
Nice to meet you.
Is it? You don't have to lie to me. I think they'll just, like, sit and offer to let him sit with them. I know that he's shackled, but he can walk just fine.
Yeah, he can walk. He kind of sits down and... So, if you don't mind my asking, what happens now?
Honestly, a lot of that depends on you.
I'm not looking for trouble.
Can I ask... I know this is a really personal question, and we don't know anything about each other besides names. But what are you looking for? Why were you wrapped up in all that?
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, it just seemed like something to do. Sarharas is a city. It's not a kind place for those that lack ambition. And things were hard. So when the Cabal seemed to be looking for people to join up, and I heard we were leaving the city finally, I thought this was a good opportunity. I didn't know what they were going to be doing.
What were they doing, Jinzo? I know about the Brood Guard.
Kash's pets. He is turning prisoners into them. It's my job to help bring them, to manage them. When he demanded it, we would collect the prisoner, deliver him to the temple, deliver him to Ikash, and then the process would begin. And he dips his head. Roll a perception check, Chris.
It's good. 22.
The 22, he's nervous. He's unsettled. And as he hangs his head, you see, as he's discussing the brood guards and discussing the prisoners, his eyes just drift over to Luna and back down.
They're gonna reach out a hand and kind of put their hand over his. Some of the canaries will flit across the top of their hand for him to see, just kind of spiraling, and then coiling into almost this serpent made of feathers and blue waves. And they'll say to him, "That process start with Luna."
Roll a persuasion check at advantage.
Boo! 1 second. Advantage. Okay. It's gonna be okay.
I hope.
Vision. 16.
16. He looks back at Luna, looks at your hand, looks at you, says, "I'd say the process is more than started. She doesn't have much longer left."
What does that mean, Jinzo, and how do I stop it?
I don't know how to stop it. I'll be honest with you. It was Ikashi's project. I transported the prisoners there. I don't know what he did.
Where did you transport them to?
To the temple.
In the northwest? Where did the Brood Guard go after the process is complete?
As far as I know, Ikash kept them in, some of them in the temple itself, in the cells, in the lower chambers. The others were transported to work with the different cells. We have several temples, and I can't say for sure, but Ikashi's formula, it turns people into these creatures. It takes about anywhere between 10 days to 2 weeks. Depends on the person.
10 days to 2 weeks, then why is Luna's only been there today?
I can't say. If Luna was if Luna is her name, if she was infected today, then it's very fast acting. I don't know. I'm so sorry.
I'll tell you what, Jinzo, you are gonna be fine as long as you cooperate with us. I understand wanting to get out of your city, believe me. I understand. Probably more than you can imagine. You're going to help us, and we're going to make your life better than what it was. Cuthbert, watch him, and they're gonna run to Luna.
Okay. All right. Let's do the Luna crest scene as Cuthbert kind of like swings. Not even swings, just kind of like rolls his eyes over to him, and Jinzo just kind of like looks to Cuthbert, looks to you. I looks back to Cuthbert. Hey, I won't do anything. I swear, Mr. Cuthbert.
Oh, that's so cute. I'm sorry. Mr. Cuthbert. Okay, they run to Luna. Luna, we have a problem.
What is it?
I couldn't help but notice, and we didn't talk about it because we never have time to rest and relax and talk things through, but your eyes changed, and you have scales, and do you know that that's happening?
I was assuming I was hoping it was temporary. It's a
Right.
little bit on my arms.
Right, so you messaged me about the brood guard.
Correct.
Right, so what you're going through, if Jinzo's to be believed, and I think he is because he's scared shitless, that's happening to you.
Mention antidote.
He did not say he knew how to change it back, but my guess, he just transported prisoners, but we have 2 more individuals with us who might have answers. The cunning one is sitting in the car?
Yes.
They glance over at him.
His eyes forward, just looking as nonchalant as possible.
You're real cute.
Excuse me?
That face you're making's real cute. What you
Right.
thinking?
Well, I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah? What you thinking? What do you coming to any fun conclusions?
Your camp is interesting. Your captain, he seems like a reasonable fellow.
He's not here right now, but he might be. Would you like to find out? I might give you the opportunity.
I might take that opportunity if it's given.
I might not. How do we fix this?
Fix what?
How do I stop a brood guard from becoming a brood guard?
Well, perhaps I know something. Perhaps
I hope you
don't.
know something.
I might know
Here
if.
for your pretty face.
Well, I can't deny that it is one of my better qualities.
Yeah.
But you want answers. I want something too. Perhaps we can come to an arrangement.
What's your name and what do you want?
My name is Anshin. Anshin.
I'll
I
strike an
am-
arrangement.
I am a member of the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent.
No.
I say you've heard of us. That's interesting. May I ask how?
Are you a true believer in Mershulk?
I am a believer in whatever keeps me alive.
That seems right. What do you want?
At the moment, my life. And beyond that, my freedom. If you can supply those things, maybe we can come to an arrangement. Maybe
I certainly
know
can supply those things, but you don't get them before you tell us how to fix this.
Do you promise? Do we have a deal? And he extends his cuffed hand forward for a shake. You give me my life. You guarantee I won't be killed. And I will tell you what I know about what's happening to your friend.
I think we're gonna need a little bit more security than that. If you don't menace us and harass the good people of this region, of our crew, if you don't take what you know back to Straharas, then maybe we have a deal. I'm not just giving you your freedom for some information, asshole.
Well, as he mulls this over, let's pause here with these guys as Anshin is considering his options. And let's hop over to to Pim and Edenor. You guys have taken the third Yuan-Ti a ways, within 30 feet, as established, of Luna. He is bound, and he kind of like stoically follows. I mean, when you guys take him out of the vehicle, he doesn't move initially. He like makes you move him. You know, Edenor, I'm sure you can kind of understand the type. As you kind of,
I move him.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so you know, you
By
find
the nape
that,
of his neck.
okay. I mean, he kind of gives you a dirty look, but he complies. He knows that he really doesn't have a whole ton of options at the moment. So you escort him around, and he stands there looking at the two of you. He stares from you, Edenor, down to you, Pim. And Pim, he's going to attempt to intimidate you.
How
As he
about it?
looms.
What do I roll here?
You can roll either a charisma saving throw, or I will also allow you to roll a counter intimidate.
I will do a charisma saving throw. That's a shoot. It's a 6, not a 9. It's a 13.
13. With a 13, unfortunately, he rolled a 16. So you can see that this guy is going to be tough to crack. Right? You can decide if you find him intimidating, but he is glowering at you, and you can tell that he's going to make you work for any scrap of information you want to get from him.
All right.
I will say this interaction lets you know at least this. He is very convicted to his cause.
Got it. So I can tell you're trying to scare me right now. You don't have to do that. You know, we're just here to talk. We're not gonna hurt you. You're not gonna hurt us, obviously. You're in chains. Let's just talk, you know? Mano a mano. And don't mind my friend Edenor here. He's a little rough around the edges, but he's a big softy inside.
I'm gonna stand right behind him and just rest a hand on his shoulder. Go ahead, Pim.
Roll an intimidation check at him.
24.
Okay. The hand rests on his shoulder, and I mean,
Just a slight squeeze.
yeah.
Just
The-
until he winces just a little bit.
In fact, why don't we all just sit down?
Just force him down to the ground.
Can we just have powwow?
Contested strength check.
All right. That would be an 18.
Natural 1.
You break his knees.
Yeah, you like force him. His knees buckle under the weight. Right, you are one-handed, even just driving him. He crashes to the ground and looks up. When you put the hand on his shoulder, your presence was noted. Now, your presence definitely continues to unsettle him.
See?
You see, he's kind of
That's
he's
comfortable,
kind of
right? Well, we want a couple things. But I'm sort of more curious about what you want.
Now, quick clarification above game. Which of these three was the one that surrendered in the blue tent?
That was Jinzo.
Jinzo? Okay. So these other two came with the reinforcements.
These other two came with the reinforcements. Yes,
Okay.
it's their cars you stole.
Okay.
So let's start with an easy question. What's your name? I'm Pim. This here is Ednor. What do we call you?
Pythias.
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 That is a fearsome name. Did your parents give you that name?
Looks at Edenor, looks at you. Sure.
Yeah. I understand why you might want to be a little tight-lipped around us. You've been through a lot, right? We've got you in chains. I know. It's overwhelming. But I really think that we can come to some sort of agreement here. And I think that we both stand to gain from this interaction right now. And at this point, I'm going to cast Charm Person.
Okay.
Try to loosen him up a little bit. So I need a
Okay.
Wisdom 15.
Just pull up the spell real quick. I just want to check something. Okay, so the spell says the wisdom saving throw is advantage if you or your companions are fighting it.
We're
This
not fighting
guy,
it.
you're not.
Not.
You're not, but he does consider you enemies.
Yeah, but that's not what the text says.
I'll pitch it to the group. What do you guys think?
Why are you arguing against yourself here?
Well,
He-
what's the clarification? Sorry.
Yeah. He definitely is not. You can see this guy does not like you guys. He's not actively fighting, but he certainly doesn't consider you guys allies, and you get
Right.
the sense.
The rules as written, though, just
Rules
says
as written.
advantage if you or your companions are fighting it. That's
Yes.
the only. That's the only text in the rules as written. I would
think
not
it's
consider
pretty
this to
clear.
be combat because we're not in initiative.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. Just checking. All right, so
I
Wisdom
get
saving
though.
throw?
I get though what your
Yeah.
logic. I get it, but I just think that the text is clear on that.
okay, no problem.
Yeah, Wisdom saving throw 15.
That is a failure.
Okay.
As you cast your spell, re-describe the scene for me.
So I've just told him, I've just explained, I think if we all kind of work together, we both have something to gain here. We can all walk out happy from this, if you cooperate. And there's Charm Person there.
The spell takes effect. You see it kind of like wash over him in kind of like a faint glimmer, right? There's just the last little bit of the spell as it kind of goes over his eyes, and he looks back up. Edinor, you can feel him loosen. You can feel him loosen underneath your arm, underneath your grip, as Pim's spell takes effect. And he goes, well, listen, I don't want to betray my people, but I want to live.
Well, that's very wise of you, might I say. I look up to Ednor, I just give him a little nod. Let him know that we're on track. So, I've got some questions for you. And I really need you to tell me the truth here. We're trying to figure out what's going on. We're just gathering information at this point. But I'll make you a deal because I feel like you might have questions for us too. So, I've got this thing I can do that brings out the truth. And I will make you a deal. If you allow me to use this truth magic on you, I will cast it on myself and my friend Ednor here too, and we will all be bound to the truth for this conversation. What do you say?
That seems reasonable.
Okay then. Are we ready?
I'm not going anywhere.
Everybody join hands. No, I'm just kidding. We don't have to do that. So I'm going to cast Zone of Truth now, but I'm not going to cast it on myself and Edinor. I just want him to think that I am.
Oh!
That will be a deception check.
I was gonna have no problem with you casting it on me, but yeah, you did.
My bitch ass wrote this class. I'm so excited.
Okay.
So, deception, would it be at advantage because he's charmed and totally trusts me?
I'm gonna make him roll insight at disadvantage.
Disadvantage insight. Okay.
Do you need more help with deception?
No, I don't
Yeah,
really.
I was gonna say, like,
My deception is going to be 27.
Yeah.
Jeez. Pim the
Got it,
Deceiver.
he got an 11. So he is Edinor, you can feel him relax even further as he
I just
now
give a
assumes-
little wink to Edinor. And I kind of like pretend to relax a little bit too. Like, "Ah, I love how this one feels, you know, just like gets down into your deep tissues. Everybody feeling good?
I'm just gonna whisper in his ear. I'm feeling really good, really loose. Then I retract back.
Still riding your previous intimidate. I mean, he's like he's gone from unsettled to just downright like he's at his most cooperative.
Yeah, okay.
You get the sense he is. You're between the Zone of Truth, the charm person, these intimidates. This guy is now an open book.
Okay. Pythias. How about we do 1 and 1? I ask you something, you ask me something. That's fair, right?
I suppose so.
All right. Cool. Well, let's start with something easy. How long have you been, I mean, I can't help but notice the, serpent on your head. How long have you been part of this fun little group? How long?
A few years.
A few years. Oh.
I served Beatmaster Akash.
You served Akash directly. What made you decide to join? Were you recruited?
My family has a long history of being members of the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent. We are believers, worshippers of the Ascended One.
The Ascended One being... That's... Varanya?
No.
Mershok.
Mershok. Mershok. Oh, that's the god that they all worship.
Yeah, Mershok.
Mershok. Got it. Ah, Mershok. Yeah. Well, cool. Okay, you asked me something.
What do you want with me, other than information? No, I'm sorry. You can see he is, again, very unsettled. Looks at Edenor, remembers kind of the battle and stuff, because this guy, like, he saw you take out some of his guys. He saw Lycus take out some of the guys, and he goes, "Are you going to kill me?"
Well, that remains to be seen, I think. I'm pretty sure no, because you seem to be super cooperative. You seem to be answering my questions, which is what we agree upon, right? So I'm gonna go with probably no.
Would you say this is a genuine kind of assumption given the context, or are you attempting to deceive him again?
No, that's genuine.
Okay, all right. He believes you either way, but I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Good. So, did you come from the camp to the northwest? Is that where you came in to reinforce your buddy Akash?
Yes, the camp that is another entrance into the lower cavern of the temple.
Oh.
We were stationed there. We were going to be awaiting a delivery when we realized something was wrong. We made our way forward to prepare an ambush. If you did manage to get the prisoners out, we were going to stop you. I didn't learn about Akash until later. Actually, I don't think I'm sorry. Actually, I don't think he even know. He doesn't know about Akash. Yeah.
Maybe that can be the next question. All right.
Yeah.
So you're awaiting a delivery. What kind of delivery?
We transport prisoners and brood guards to the other temples. Well, temple looks at you and goes, "I believe that's 2 questions for me now."
Sure, that's fair. Go ahead.
What happened to my master?
I'm just gonna lean over, look at him. I killed him. But he didn't even touch me.
You try like a cartoon where your neck just stretches up normally and you just lean
Leans around it.
He is
And then
obliterated.
and then I'm gonna just loosen down my sensor, and you can just see there's just gore still on it. I haven't cleaned the gore off the sensor. I cleaned it off my person. Yeah.
How do you feel about
say
this?
Goodbye.
How do you feel about this? You loosen the sensor, and the sensor itself just kind of like the chains just rattle and slide, and like lands in the sand next to you. Just a heavy thud. Clearly a weapon that would take great strength to.
Obviously, that truth spell is keeping him honest, isn't it?
Oh, so very honest.
He is. You don't need another intimidation check. That's very intimidating in itself. He is going to just kind of like go from, again, cooperative to now nervous. Like he has the reassurance that he's going to live, but he is not confident about his prospects beyond.
Keep answering Pim's questions, and you might not end up with the same fate. I might have a question or two later. We'll see. Slink back.
Yeah, I'm really sorry about that, but you have to understand, we had our mission. We went in there trying to save people. To be fair, we knew nothing about what was really going on. Why don't you tell me what those prisoners were for? We can better understand what was happening in there.
Well, I have one more question. Right,
Fair.
answer. What do you know about Idris Histaeria?
Honestly,
Notes.
I know. All I know about Idris is that there have been stories of Captain Idris
And I'm gonna
using-
pipe in. If you want to continue, I was gonna pipe
just-
in otherwise. So.
I was just gonna say, all I know about Idris is that there have been stories of his loyalty to his cause.
And I do know that he is the captain of the honor.
Yes, that too.
Actually
So,
got to meet the fella. What should we know about this Idris?
yeah, what do
You
you
haven't
know
answered
about
any of my
Idris?
questions yet.
That's true. He's in the turn order too, so
I
this
get
is
a
part of the
couple
game. Yeah.
No.
Idris Histaeria, as you said, is a captain of a ship called the Honor. He is a member of the Sanguine Sodality. You guys can sense an obvious sense of dislike, genuine distaste as he almost spits out the words Sanguine Sodality.
Not your favorite, I guess. That was just
No.
a comment, not a question.
Has
Sure.
he always been a member of the Sanguine Sodality?
As far as I know. But he's been a problem for my organization in the past.
How so?
That's another question.
That's fine. I'm keeping track. I guess we're doing that.
That's okay.
It's technically
Hey.
a sub question because it's something he knows about Idris. So it would
It's a
have to be
line
the
of
answer.
questioning. Let's go with
Lawyer.
lines of questioning.
I will. Okay, I'll accept the lawyered. It is a valid sub question. I'm sorry. Come again, Pim. Go ahead and give me that follow up again.
I just asked how so? How is he a problem for the cabal?
His organization and mine tend to have disagreements. He has disrupted our operations in Straras on numerous occasions.
All by himself?
Him and his crew, and the rest of the order. But let's just say he's not exactly my favorite person. When your friend mentioned him, I started to fear for my life.
You think he just wants to kill you?
I think he does. I think he would kill any one of the Cabal if given the opportunity. And I feared you were assassins of his. sent to maybe kill Akash and disrupt our operations. Agents, if you will.
Assassins. Never really thought of myself as much of a killer, you know?
I was surprised too.
I deal mostly...
I'm not much for skullduggery myself. I'm more of the in-your-face kind of guy.
He's not quick-witted enough to respond. But David, David has several. So,
I believe it's your turn to ask us something if you'd like.
do you work for the Sandman Sodality?
No? We don't work for anyone. We're free agents. That's the truth.
You just happened to kidnap somebody we were supposed to save. Wrong person to enslave, I guess. Poor Akash. Never saw it coming.
I'm trying to break this man's mind.
Come on. We got him charmed. Don't ruin this man.
I've never seen this side of Edenor, and I hate it.
This is like mental torture.
This is good cop, bad cop. With lots of mental manipulation.
I would say we got a couple more minutes on Zone of Truth. You guys have 2 more questions. Let's do that, and then we'll move on.
Okay, 2 more. Let me prioritize here.
Have we been told about the... So we know about the Broodlord stuff.
Oh, I know.
Tim
Have we
does.
been told about any of the curse stuff? Or no?
I'll say, I mean,
Like, has the message thing been... Have you been getting...
Keep in mind, you guys do have this guy prisoner. Like, you can come back to him if you need later.
right.
What do you know about this whole business with drawing power from the earth? It seems to be harming the ecosystem around here, and I don't love that. Is that something that you know anything about? What's the deal?
Some of our more powerful members, it seems, are capable of augmenting their druidic gifts by absorbing the life force of the earth. I've heard Talod speak about its addictive nature. Talod and Nakash are both our members. We have several members who will be able to use this ability to great effect.
So they draw power from the elements, it seems. Am I on the right track?
From what I understand, it's from nature itself, and he kind of looks around.
And what's the end game here? What exactly does the Cabal want?
He looks to you both, and despite all the intimidation, despite all of the magic and everything that you guys have put towards him, you see the conviction, the light of conviction rekindle in his eyes as he leans forward and he says, the awakening of the Ascended One draws nearer. We prepare the world for his arrival.
His arrival.
Interesting. Well, I guess I have one last question then. A little off the beaten path, though. Did you guys ever transport a Loxodon? You seem to be missing something.
He thinks for a moment. Yes, there was a Loxodon. Last I saw him, he was locked away in a cell in the lower chambers
Lower chambers.
of the temple, turning into one of Akashi's pets.
Is that below the temple? Below where all the other prisoners were?
Yes.
I see.
How big was that coffin?
There was a whole
Uh,
room down there that we didn't go in.
We didn't really investigate the room, but that's
The
it.
gas started leaking.
Yeah. Well, at least we know that.
And just quick, in case it like got lost in the sauce kind of thing, he did mention that the northwest thing was a entrance into those lower chambers.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.
One last thing. Yahi and Zulkash, who are they?
Pete Masters like a gosh.
Okay. And where are they?
Said one more question.
That can be my question, unless you want to disagree with me.
He kind of gives like a light hiss. Yeah. I don't know where Zultash is, but yeah, he was meant to become the master of the Temple of Rising. He was.
Temple of Rising. Is that the temple? That's not the temple we were in.
We were in the Temple of Sleep.
Oh.
Yeah, the Temple of Rising needs to be. Yeah, he was gathering a team to retake it. Talod and myself were meant to go over there and assist. It seems perhaps more of those inwebbed undead had attacked. The camp was found decimated. Everyone died. Everyone was tangled in webbing, except for one person, a goblin in our employ. I hear his injuries were different. I hear he was drained of his blood.
Okay.
Got any questions for me? I feel like you have to have at least one. No.
What is your plan for me?
I have not fully decided yet. So far, you've been quite cooperative. If you continue to be, maybe there's freedom in your future. If you don't, maybe I'll use you to fuel my new ride. Indefinitely.
If you bring me, do you intend to bring me to Idris Espida?
I'm not sure.
No. We wouldn't do that.
Deception? Or Zone of Truth?
Yeah.
Oh, it's
Well,
not on
I'm
you.
not
That's
on
right.
it.
Yeah.
That's
I'll
right.
do
Never mind.
deception.
You don't have to roll. He
Oh.
assumes everything you say
Okay.
is true.
Right.
You rolled deception earlier. To great
Yeah.
effect.
Tip the deceiver.
He believes you and he says, "Good. If you did, I would most assuredly be dead. Me and any of my fellows."
Yeah. Good to know.
So that's what you get from him. Your spell wears off. The Zone of Truth is passed. Charm Person, I believe, is like 8 hours or something stupid.
It is
An hour.
1 hour.
Yeah, so he is still
Longer than that.
charmed, but Zone of Truth is, you guys have your information. You each have your own little pieces and different pieces of this little puzzle. I will let you maybe reconvene, unless there's anything else. Oh, wait, no, we actually had an Anshin and Cress and Luna scene that we were kind of working on.
Oh, right.
Sorry. Okay. So, Anshin holds out his hand, and you had said, again, you might consider letting him live if he told you how to deal with Luna, right? Something along those lines?
They want means of how to reverse the effects of the Broodguard transformation on Luna.
Okay.
And their other demands were refrain from attacking or harrying the denizens of this land and our crew, and
Okay.
not to share what happened here with any of the denizens of Sra Haras or the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent.
Okay. He extends a hand. Goes. If you promise me my life and my freedom, then we have a deal.
Insight check.
Roll an insight check.
Oh! It's a natural 20.
You.
How many roll this up?
I rolled a 19. I was feeling good.
Oh, devastated.
Okay.
You lying?
He certainly is lying. There are elements of deception. As you kind of look into his eyes, you can see that this person, for all of his like coolness under pressure kind of thing, as you're studying him, closely, knowing that this may not be an individual to be trusted, you can sense behind his eyes that there's an element of cruelty that is just innate, and the idea of leaving, whichever element of the other conditions that you specified is what he's trying to try to deceive against. It could be all of it. If he was set free, he would likely go back to his ways.
Anshin. I can smell a lot.
His hand drops.
I will give you neither your freedom nor your life if you refuse. And what happens to you will become out of my hands. And I know you think my captain may be a reasonable man. Given that one of our conditions was that you not hurt this crew, and there is a lie when you say you're going to refuse, I have a feeling your death will be slow and painful. So rethink your actions here.
I feel like this deserves an intimidation check.
That's fair. Please be nice to me. I'm not very good at this.
I'll tell you, David's intimidated.
Okay.
So he's gotta be.
Quick question. Can I offer assistance by being in a full werewolf, just kind of doing my own shit, exercising behind?
Sure.
Yeah.
I like this scene that it paints.
There's a werewolf in the background doing jumping
jacks.
Hit me.
Oh,
Hit me.
Did you nat 20 again?
Another one?
Yeah, they're right next to
Okay.
each other now.
Okay.
Another one.
Okay.
Another one.
He looks over
Fuck.
to,
This little scene.
at the mention of, your captain being a reasonable man, right? He looks over to where Lycus is, who is in werewolf form. Lycus, what are you doing in
So
crow form?
I think he's just trying to practice. This has only been a few weeks since he's got his new body. So he is doing everything he can to understand it more. He's transforming as slowly as possible, getting his claws as long as possible, and testing his new body. So he's cutting himself, and then it heals up with a little bit of a sizzle and a steam. And it's
Okay.
like,
Okay. He looks at that, and then Cress's words kind of gripping him. I am in an awkward position. If I betray the cabal of the slumbering serpent, my life could be forfeit just as easily as if you were all to kill me.
If you are willing to help us, we are willing to protect you. But those are contingencies, my friend, and I'm sure you understand that.
I looks over. I understand that. Okay. I will cooperate. I won't harm your crew. I won't harm any members of wherever it is you take us. In exchange, I hope you will at least continue to treat me humanely.
They shake his
Me.
hand.
He shakes back. You drive a hard bargain.
Hard times, hard bargains.
If the cabal of the slumbering serpent learn that me or any of my fellows here have betrayed them, expect your life is going to get a lot harder.
I'm not gonna go ratting you out.
Okay. So he agrees. You can sense with your previous checks and everything, with your nat 20, just still riding that he realizes this is the best option to him. As far as his goal of staying alive, he understands that this is the path before him, and he is going to walk it. The others come back. So I'm guessing, okay, you guys get all the prisoners back together, and you can have a moment to debrief before you head back over to the Froggrove, or if you want, we can head on over to the Froggrove.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, let's quick debrief.
Okay. Prisoners back in the vehicle, goblins and Yuan-Ti gathered together.
Here's a possibility.
Oh, Luna. Real quick, your identify. You.
Oh yeah, on the potion.
You did complete your
Wow.
10 minutes.
And
Yep. So you do have a couple of things. Let me send you what you get.
None of them happen to be a potion of fix the problem that I have currently.
Yeah, that's why I
No.
wanted the vial
It's
first.
probably a formula
okay.
to convert someone, to make someone a brute. That's my
That's
theory.
exactly what it is. It seems to be a formula that is some sort of poison. Okay, I fucking hate when this happens. I just want to copy. Can't I just paste the text, please, computer? Okay, Nigel, look up. I'm gonna let you look up two things. Okay, the vial doesn't have an item in D&D Beyond. It is a vial of Brutguard formula. The syringe does have an item listing in D&D Beyond. It is called the Contingent Applicator. You can look that up in D&D Beyond. And then as far as the spell goes, there's a spell that you were able to decipher with your identify. It is a spell you can eventually add to your book, I believe. Right? The spell is called Weapon of Blood. You can look that up on D&D Beyond as well.
Okay. I'll
Okay.
look more into that afterwards.
Sure.
So yeah, if we've got it together, I'm going to mention, because I mean, I could over here press the conversation.
Yes, you could.
Should we not try to figure out how I can reverse this process before bringing him potentially to the guy?
You guys are all back together.
Yeah.
Okay.
Figure out how to solve this before we bring it back to the murderer and Froggrove.
Wonder.
Fixing you up is definitely priority
Yeah,
one.
for sure. I wonder if Ulrich could help with his medical experience.
My concern is that bringing people to Froggrove would understand Idris. I could break out. Who knows what?
It sounds like these guys are pretty afraid of Idris.
I think we need to have a conversation with Idris about not killing them. I don't want to. And I understand your concern, Luna, and I do think we should find out how to reverse it before we go back to the Froggrove. Just to make sure that you are okay. It sounds like Anshin has answers. Anshin, I can pronounce things.
Now, who do these
the
goblins
accent.
work for?
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Who did?
Goblins? Yeah, we have-
Luna and Edenor, roll investigation checks real quick. That question may be something that could be answered.
Oh,
What was the question?
it was what? Who do the goblins work for?
Oh,
24.
24.
That
Luna?
is that's a 19.
Okay. You
Very
both recognize the goblins. In particular, you recognize the one named Clink. You can tell that Clink is dressed in the same uniforms. It's torn, it's broken, it's definitely disheveled as they have gone through, days of neglect as a prisoner. But you can tell that Clink the uniform is familiar. You recognize it as being the one of the Cataphract Legion, the
yeah.
Airship Legion
That's what I was
of the
about to ask.
goblins. Yep.
So they
are about
work
to-
under Vrakaron Shred. He wants to restore the conquering host and the heirs of Dalmesa.
So we're going to bring a bunch of goblins, conquering host, and then release them after visiting the Froggrove.
Him, Granny, and I adopted one. His name's Gick. He's really nice.
Captain
That's right.
Burke is the name of the goblin that you'd met previously, the one whose ship you had commandeered.
They didn't seem too keen on changing their ways.
Gick didn't either, but Grady's persuasive.
However, they are part of the same airship people as before. Maybe if we let them go, they'll bring us a new ship.
But you're going to risk the Froggrove.
I don't think we should let them get that far back.
That's what it would take.
I mean,
I don't think we should let them get to the village. Don't worry. I
don't
can
feel-
handle this for you.
I don't feel
Edenor.
comfortable with.
They are murderers. And
So
this
are
is
we.
what- Yes. But at least I'm not enslaving and slaughtering.
Ednor, how about this? Keep an
They
eye
have
on
been-
them. Sorry. Keep an eye on them for the eve. Let them recover a little bit. And later, instead of releasing them, I'll deal with them. But they'll have a chance to fight. I don't feel
We don't-
comfortable just killing them.
We don't have to kill them. Listen, the Cataphract Legion were the ones who took the rocket I told y'all about. If we can make an alliance with them, and we can get that rocket back, then we are that much closer to fighting the Monarch. But we have to be their allies to do that.
I was
We've-
going to suggest
Done this before. I'm sorry.
picking you.
People socialized into one frame of thought don't have to be there forever. They've been socialized to think they have to be slavers in order to survive. It's our responsibility to show them another way. Edenor, you are an evangelist, aren't you?
Yeah, they already refused. They refused the blessing of the gods.
Okay, I think you
It's
maybe
over.
need to work a little bit more on your active persuasion rather than just giving someone an option. Come on, Edenor.
Hey, I'm about free choice.
Well,
I choose not. That's
think
up to them.
how pleased your God would be, Adenor, if you took the time and the effort to show them a better way.
I don't know if you know Tazrin as well as I know Tazrin.
I surely don't, but I'm just
But
saying,
you make a fair point. I
there's
get you.
another way, and your gods might be pleased with you.
None
Okay.
of the Erosian gods preach mercy and change. None of them.
Some of them do.
They ask Edenor.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yes, it just depends on which god. Remember, it's like a very large dysfunctional family sometimes. Some would cringe at me saying that, but they all have their flaws, per se. But I would say the thing is, sometimes you have to make a hard choice in order to prevent further damage and hardship down the road. If you do not make the hard choice up front, then it will come back and it will collect with interest.
The 4 goblins there are an opportunity for us to make allegiances with people who can reach the monarch. It's a hard
That's true.
choice to look past your biases in order to work with them. It is easy to kill them. The hard thing is to negotiate and make sacrifices, Edmund.
Yeah, but the sacrifices might be the Froggrove.
I'm not willing to sacrifice the innocents of Froggrove.
Well, we certainly have to be smart about it. I mean, we're not gonna like trust them at their first, whatever they tell us. Like it's gonna
What, do we
it's gonna
drag her on
require
4 more months?
tact.
That could
Why
split
don't we
up.
just let them go, have a conversation, and let them go back? The conquering host is a host. It's
Exactly.
a legion. We're not. If we kill theirs, then we are their enemy. If we let theirs go to have a conversation and
We've
perhaps
already
form an alliance.
We've already stolen a ship from them.
As you
I
guys are
didn't know
discussing
that.
this,
Yeah.
as you guys are discussing this, can I get passive perception or perception checks from everybody there?
15.
15?
Passive, you said?
It's a nat
No,
one.
no. Just perception, sorry. Perception check, active checks.
That's a 16.
16, 1, okay.
8.
Oh no! Yeah, Cress is really in the moment, get
I really
past it.
Yeah,
listen.
Crisis.
It's
And
I'm
I'm just-
flipping a coin. It's
Yeah.
I got you this time. 19.
19,
And 22.
Nice.
22.
Here we go.
Okay, Edenor, what was yours?
16.
16. I'm gonna say, Edenor, yourself and Cress are absorbed in this
Okay,
conversation.
that's fine.
The rest of you, though,
Not me.
You
I only got an
see-
8.
the Luna and Lycus, you
The
two,
elves.
the elves, you guys are, watching this discussion happen between these 3, right? But you glance over to the vehicle, and you can see that Clink, the goblin, is keenly watching this dynamic. Possibly seems to be picking things up. But not only is Clink watching the dynamic, with your excellent checks, the 2 of you also notice that Clink is observing in particular him.
I have another suitor.
Eyes keep falling back to Pim. Listening to Edenor and Cress, observing the gnome.
Just so you know, you two arguing, you have an audience now.
That's fair.
Well,
Guys, we gotta bring it in. We gotta
All
we
right,
gotta
fine.
show them that we are a team,
We're a team. We can disagree.
an unstoppable force, even if that's not how we feel right now.
Lurk.
Let's all high
Before I
five.
do anything.
It'll.
They high five.
Yes.
They just immediately high five Pim.
I'm like
All right. Yeah. Put a
glancing
hand in.
Not.
out the corner of my eyes to see if they're watching.
I want to know if Luna high fives. Luna's the.
Are both my hands messed up? Because I'll go for the one that's messed up and retract and go for the one that's
Sure.
better.
Yeah. One's more messed up. I'd say. Which hand are you? Right-handed or left-handed?
Left.
Your dominant hand is the more messed up one. That's the more muscular one. Like that's the one you wield your blade with and flex and move, right? So that's the one where your skin is obviously cracked and peeled. The right hand, you keep poise, right? It's got some scaliness going on, but it's not definitely not as bad as your left. So yeah, you can high five with your right.
The first thing I thought about was from the scary movie. Take my strong hand.
So, guys, where are we
So
at?
okay, so
Yeah.
our big decisions come down to what to do with the goblins, how to cure Luna from this whatever's happening with Luna, and what to do with all this information that we got from the Yuan-Ti. So let's start with Luna's condition, because that's a really important one. I say we take you to Ulrich and see what he can do.
I think we also ask Anshin how to reverse it before any contact is made with Idris, because we know he might be a loose cannon on this issue.
True. So remind me again the deal that we have with Anshin.
In exchange for, actually, the deal we made was in exchange for treating him with respect and like not like harming his person. He would help us to reverse. God help. To reverse Luna's condition, and he wouldn't harm the crew or anyone we're bringing them to.
Okay. Okay. Well, yes. I guess that's our first stop.
Well, we should do that maybe before we get back to the camp.
Yeah, like now-ish.
If we want, we could then maybe release them. I mean, they can't go back to the Cabal at this point because they betrayed the Cabal.
I think that there's an opportunity to, if we're eventually getting a ship, and Jinzo is the one who is transporting individuals, we could train him. He just wanted out of that city.
He does seem particularly moldable.
I say after they heal Luna, or we heal Luna, we bring him back to the camp, and if Idris has a problem, he'll have to go through me first. He's a reasonable man, despite his apparent bloodlust.
Considering they have all the information, I will stand right next to you.
Fair enough. As for the goblins, if you wish to question them further, it's fine. I stand by my statement that will not let them threaten the innocents. And we should probably pump them for a little more information.
Yeah, well, think. We don't have to decide tonight. We can keep them.
Oh, they will be restrained, though.
Yeah, that's fine.
They will be prisoners.
We can have a group talk later.
That's fine. We don't need to let them loose by any means, but we can keep them somewhere where they can't harm anyone, and we won't harm them. And let's think about this. Maybe we decide in the morning what kind of actions we want to take with them. My mom always said it's always good to sleep on it before you make a big decision. And I think we could all use some sleep.
Luna, you are the one aware of this. It is approaching midnight.
Cheaters.
We need to go to bed.
Yeah, it's time.
I'm sleepy.
I know it might not look so late, but it's about time we could head back. Maybe someone can ask Anshin way.
All right.
So,
If he doesn't give us the right answer, then deal with him, and we'll get the answer from the ambulance.
And I think he will.
okay.
Do you think, real quick, I huddle in a little closer. Do you think any of these characters here might know anything about my mom and where she might be in Muldan Ardan and what role she might be playing in this?
I imagine so. That's where the Cataphract Legion is based out of. So there's a chance.
That fun-looking one over there, she has been eyeing you for a while now. Maybe she recognizes you?
Oh.
You can
When you look
interrogate
back.
her.
Maybe I'll have a chat with her. What's her name?
Clankle. Nope.
Clink.
Yep, that's it.
Clink?
Nope, Crackle. And that one, yeah.
Clink.
Clank.
Okay.
Crackle, pop, snap. Sounds like a lot of
Clink,
things that my
crackle,
sensor
snapple,
does.
poppy.
Yeah. Okay.
How fortuitous of the naming.
Well, that's something I'll definitely talk to her about. So,
Edenor. I just got it. Okay.
so we head back, I think.
Head back in the vehicle,
Back in
right?
the vehicle.
So, okay. I'm guessing Cress, Pim, Cuthbert.
I think Pim wanted to have a conversation
Yeah.
with Clink.
Oh, okay, yeah. So we're doing some stuff before you guys start traveling.
Oh, I think
I-
while they
Pim wants to
travel.
talk to
While they travel. Okay. So
Yeah, sure.
who do we have where?
Driving.
So I think
Luna's driving.
Luna's driving.
I'll talk to Clink, and someone's got to talk to Anshin.
Okay.
I guess I can talk to Anshin as long as I'm updated on everything. I assume we've all
Yeah.
updated everything. So.
Yeah.
We're just looking for
Okay,
how
I'll
to
have a conversation with Anshin.
fix up Luna. Okay.
Okay.
And you have been told, you have been made aware that this deal is contingent upon
Yes.
him being treated well.
Of course.
And
of
that
course.
Luna won't be saved if that is broken.
That is fine. That's fine.
We're gonna. It's
I
gonna be
think
an early PvP fight.
Cress is looking up at Edenor like, I know I can't stop you. I'm just relying on your intelligence.
That is fine. As
Okay,
long
so
as
I-
long as
so-
that intimidation carries from you. That
As
he's
far as the group configuration goes,
Yep.
we're gonna have Pim riding in the truck bed with the NPCs. We're gonna have Lycus. You're gonna
okay.
probably have to be on Cuthbert with Cress.
Yeah,
I
okay.
thought someone else is driving. Doesn't like
Luna's
Luna's
driving.
driving.
Oh.
And Edenor's riding shotgun.
I'm
Okay.
talking with Ashen though.
Yeah, so you're like leaning over the side talking to Anshin. So Cress and Lycus will have to be on Cuthbert to
All
get
right.
everybody to fit. And then Luna's driving,
That should be fun.
him in the back. Okay, so
Just clinging on.
I mean, that's logistically that's how I see it kind of working out. Or if you guys have a different configuration you'd like to do,
No, that works.
Just hang off the
then
engine like this.
you guys are gonna get driving here, and we'll start the conversation. Luna, roll us an Arcana check to get your vehicle movement going.
It is a. It's a 19.
Okay. You like Luna, you've during the time, even with your identify as well, you took like a brief glance at this vehicle. You're feeling pretty good about how to steer this thing, how to drive it, right? Cress and Lycus, as you guys are boarding Cuthbert, as you guys are kind of like mounting, you hear the tires kind of squeal out, the engine kind of roar to life, right? And then it kind of does like a quick little burnout and takes off.
Oh, she really likes those things.
Luna's handling
I'm
this
not
thing
gonna lie,
like
it's
a
hot.
shades on, right? Does a quick
Yeah.
donut, sprinkles dirt and a kind of a flare, and zoom takes off.
Both me and Edenor, we got.
Hey,
our
I gotta
shades-
put my shades on.
Your scales are fluttering in the wind.
Yes. You just see like a patch of skin coming out here and there.
It's like
No.
shedding.
It's all fun and games until that's your character, guys.
Oh no.
You know, a lot of weird stuff happens to your characters, Nigel.
That's
Between
the
that,
David Nigel
Oh.
dynamic, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
It's
the curse. Oh my
Check.
god,
Love you
that
both.
curse.
Yep.
All right, so you three are going to kind of like take off with the NPCs. Lycus and Cress, you guys are aboard Cuthbert, right?
Yes.
Taking off. Wings kind of kick up dust, right? Adding to the dust clouds, soar into the sky. Any roleplay from you two, and then we'll get to the other group while they are driving.
Well, there's a check I'd like to make really fast. I don't know if you had
Sure.
any roleplay, Ollie, but really fast. From the sky, we have a lot is happening. I want to scout visually because we know where the Black Raptor was last spotted. I want to scout any sort of trails, see if I can spot some sort of mist.
Okay, very interesting, very, very interesting. And not, honestly, let me move you guys over to this map too. You're not too far away at all, right?
Exactly.
It's definitely a trip that Cuthbert can kind of shoot off, right? You guys watch, you guys are heading south, right? You guys can see Cuthbert kind of like just
Well, no,
bank
I'll say
away
I'm
from-
not gonna.
Yeah.
I don't want to split the party, so they'll be traveling along with the vehicle. I am just eyes out because if
Okay.
we have enough altitude, I should be able
Yes.
to see.
You can see for miles.
Yeah.
Go ahead, roll a perception check.
It's going faster than.
At
vehicle.
advantage because of your height.
At advantage.
Yeah.
The
'cause
first
you
one
are
was a good.
up top.
The second one I dropped. First one was a 17. Okay, so it's a 17 plus. Am I rolling perception or
Perception.
24?
24 is an excellent roll. All right, give me 1 second here. I'm going to give you some map with your height as well. Right, and I'm not going to cut it quite as clean as they've done previously. I just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of So you have some map. You have some more map
Wow.
from your vantage point, right?
Cool.
Being the navigator, you're getting a good lay of the land. Lycus, you also have some experience, surveying and looking out, having done some more ships and stuff in the past. You can see there are mountains to the west. There is more jungle on the embankment, also to the west at the foot of the mountains, as well as jungle over to the east on the other side of the river. You, with your excellent checks, right? You are catching glimpses of, this is something you were used to. Being above, high, looking for game trails, right? Identifying where your quarry might have gone. With your check, you can see that there have been numerous animals moving about, but you've tracked raptors before, right? Maybe not quite one like this, but you've tracked raptors before. You know they move in packs, and you know that their trails are, while they are cunning animals when they hunt, right, from the sky, their trails are maybe a bit more obvious. You can see, Cress, that the raptor, its path, right? You saw it in, let's see, can you see the point that I'm doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so you saw it right there in that square where it originates, right? You see that it went kind of like down this way, across here,
Oof.
and it has crossed. It is cross past. It is head west.
Okay. They'll relay that to Lycus.
That should have been a survival check, but you've done this stuff before, so.
And my plus is the same, so it would have been a 24.
Oh, perfect. Yeah. So, yeah.
So what are you saying?
Check.
I'm saying that I think that its nest is to the west. The thing that Varanya needs.
Oh,
Kill Cuthbert to bring back to you.
wait. I think missed something. Your dragon is in danger? When did this happen?
They're mortal enemies.
Well, another one for the list. I'm sorry, I wasn't aware. We were so close to that creature before. Should have.
I didn't know. I see. And we were looking for a crew. I had to prioritize their lives, but the only reason I am still alive is to protect Cuthbert.
Well, you're doing a great job.
I'm not.
He pats Cuthbert on his back like check out this car sort of thing. I don't know. They seem pretty great so far.
He is incredible.
Cress, this might be not the right time, but I was hoping I could talk to you for a moment while we're alone. He takes out a shitty stone from his pocket. It's like, you paid for Luna's materials with some stones that were probably valuable. This is not. I don't know what's valuable when it comes to stones. I just want to offer it to you as thanks, and that I am paying attention. I'm trying to pay attention. And I wanted to apologize. I talked to you a time ago about your people, and the way I said things came out crass and uncaring. I just meant your people lived in some of the most difficult terrains on Earth and survived. Things were hard then, and they made it. And they thrived. Things are hard now. You are great and surviving and thriving. I think they will too. I know personal loss not accounted for, and I'm sorry. I'm just saying I have hope, and that I'll try to speak better.
They'll take the stone and with this cord around their neck, they will take it out, and along with some other things attached to it, they will just kind of attach it to the cord. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it might be a big ask, but when I say things, try to find the meaning behind them, because it's not going to sound right. I know that. But
We've known each other 3 days, I think. We're gonna have to learn each other's languages.
yeah, I'm not used to. Edenor brought up the same thing. I have been thrust around from crew to crew so long, so many times. Sometimes I forget that people don't just do that. I'll try better.
I can see that you put a lot of value in community, and I respect that very much. I might be maybe a little rustier at that, and I'm gonna try to understand where you're coming from.
It's not that hard to understand. I just don't like being alone. I'm a simple man. But hey, you may not have officially joined the crew. I believe you said no. But if you ever do want to join, I know exactly the position for you.
What's that?
Oh, well, I believe they called it quartermaster, but I would call it babysitter. You'd just be making sure I don't kill the crew with my dumb decisions.
The last thing I want to do is babysit you like this. They're laughing as they're flying along, just like, what? No, you have to babysit yourself. You are the captain. And as I understand it, quartermaster is someone who keeps track of. Quartermaster is someone who keeps track of inventory on a vessel, that sort of thing.
You know, I've never actually paid attention to what
All right.
I love it.
Listen, we'll talk when you get a vessel. I'm sorry that I'm reticent. I'm not great at authority. I don't know if you noticed.
I'm not. I have neglected being in a position of authority for going on roughly 20 years. Sometimes it just happens, and things happen, and you have to decide to control the outcome. That's
It
all I'm
seems
trying
like
to
you're
do.
actively pursuing it. Is it because you think that you know where to go? You know what everyone needs? What is it that makes you say, I am the leader, this is where we're going?
Because I have faith in myself that I'm going to go in the right direction for me. And I know that's very limiting and very selfish, but that's the only thing I know. And
I understand captaining yourself then. That makes all the sense in the world. I'm the same way.
No, it's not just that. I've seen people go in the wrong direction, and I've ignored it and I've moved on. I just can't do that anymore, okay?
Do you think you know where we all need to go?
I think I know where I need to go, and whoever wants to come with me, I will help push them along the way. And wherever they want to go, I'll rip and tear the world apart to get them there. My job as captain is just to make sure your dreams come true. Oh, their dreams come true. As best I can.
They consider this. I guess what do you think we all dream of? Each one of us right now, what do you think the dreams of each person in your crew or your potential crew dreams of?
I wish I knew. Right now, I just know that Pim needs to find her family. I know that you need to protect this big guy. And I get the feeling that Ednor, at the very least, wants to save this world in some way. No one like you have reminded me. We've only been together a little while. But if there's one thing that I know when I meet someone, is that they have something. They're looking for something. And I think everyone here is. So I don't really care what they're looking for. I want to help either way.
What I will say is that the captain I'm willing to follow is someone who knows what his crew is looking for. I think you could be that person, but I don't think you are right now.
Well, I'll do my best. I guess I should start asking questions.
You hate to see it.
You hate to see it.
Wonderful. You guys are amazing. If either of you do not have inspiration, go ahead and take it. If you have your inspiration, use it. I want to give
Keep
you
forgetting
more.
it's there.
You've been rolling pretty fine, so save it. You might need it. All right.
I know.
It'll come at some point.
The two of you are going to kind of fly into the Froggrove then. We hop back to our crew in the vehicle. Luna, you are cruising, right? Edenor and Pim, you have your follow-up interactions. Let's see, who wants to go first?
Oh.
Pim, go first. So you are talking to the goblins, I believe it is, right? As
Yeah.
you see, Clink has been observing you. As you settle in, the other goblins kind of like, you can definitely tell that Clink is the one in charge amongst them, right? Clink kind of shifts aside and goes, I was hoping I'd get a chance to talk to you.
Oh, me too. You've been staring at me.
You
Can't
seem
help but
familiar.
notice.
You seem familiar is all.
That's odd. You recognize this beautiful face?
You didn't spend any time with the Cataphract Legion, did you?
Not to my recollection, no.
You never visited Wildan or Dan? You have, but you were very young. Like, you probably visited the port, but
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's-
I've seen the port, but haven't really explored the city much.
Hmm.
You must be thinking of someone else.
must be.
Where did you see this? I mean, maybe I have a doppelganger or something. Where did you see them?
You know, when you get to my age ripe old age of 10, sometimes you start to forget things.
I see.
But perhaps, a little bit of conversation, maybe an arrangement can be made and something that'll jog the memory.
That could be fun. Why don't we get you, comfortable back at the camp? Let's all get some rest.
That sounds wonderful.
Yeah. Oh, hey, is anyone hungry? I've got a few extra pieces of jerky here. Anybody?
I'm looking at everyone in the truck bed.
The Yuan-Ti all remain pretty quiet. Junzo actually looks like he's about to take you up on the offer, glances over to Pythias and goes, just kind of sits back down.
Pythias should still be charmed, by the way.
Pythias
Not that it
is,
matters.
but Junzo's experience with Pythias is one that is unique. And The other goblins kind of like glance around and they eye it hungrily. Clink goes, "If you're offering, sure."
I mean, yeah.
Extends a
here.
hand. Extends a hand.
I take a
grabs
bite
piece.
myself just to show that it's not anything fishy.
Clink starts. They didn't even wait. It's been a while since they've had a proper meal.
Yeah.
Prisoner life is not good for them.
Yeah.
So they immediately start kind of taking it over. They're kind of fighting for it. Clink slaps their hands and pulls out, takes like 60% of it and gives the last 40% to divvy up among the three remainders.
Guys, we're hungry.
It's been a while since we've had anything beyond just mush. You
Yeah.
can imagine these guys don't exactly treat their guests very well. Kind of angling towards the UNT. Anshin turns and just kind of smiles at Clink. I don't know where you see a smile that is lacking of regret.
Interesting.
More amused that this creature would even, make any sort of commentary like this.
I'm sensing some tension here. Rightly so. I mean, totally understandable. Everybody like music, though, right?
I'm gonna take out my flute and just start trying to diffuse the tension.
Roll a performance check.
Performance will be a 19.
I honestly don't know if I'm rolling high or low on this. I'm gonna say the UNT. You want the UNT to fail. You want them to become more relaxed, right? Whereas you want the goblins to succeed and become more empowered. Does that make sense? So you're kind of trying to get these two groups to kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah, I just want everyone to kind of find common ground through music.
Sure. Okay. The UNT loosen up. The UNT seem to kind of... Jinzo kind of starts to like look over and kind of, starts kind of bobbing his head, and then looks over to Pythias and slowly stops. Whereas your check is actually good enough where Pythias is sitting there and you guys just kind of notice Pythias is just kind of like tapping his heel.
I clocked that.
Anshin is still smiling and seeming as, even though he's a prisoner, he is as comfortable as he's meant. He feels like he's almost like it looks natural.
I'll get a little cheeky with Anshin and get a little closer to him and kind of like get in his space a little bit.
They rolled a group check, so he kind of like smiles a little bit. You see a smile kind of break across the face and kind of like taps your shoulder lightly, and kind of like nudges you back. The goblins though remain somewhat wary of the UNT. The UNT have definitely loosened up, though, but the goblins still not totally trusting.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's all.
Okay. Then Edenor, you and Anshin, Pim begins playing. You see Anshin kind of loosen up, and he kind of like kind of relaxes as he's watching the group, and you're watching him.
So, Anshin, what needs to be done to fix my friend? And don't lie to me. I've already talked with Cress, and she promised as long as you don't lie, I can't hurt you. So please don't give me a reason.
Looks over to Luna and goes, "I'll be honest with you, it's somewhat above my pay grade, but I've seen these before. I've seen Akashi's brood guards. He has been making them for quite some time, but it seems since he's come out and been freed in the world with Straras no longer being sealed, he is increasing his production, growing more bold as he's been exploring. So, truth be told, the cure, I do not know. But maybe I know where you can find out."
That's what I like to hear, because that first sentence was really stretching your usefulness.
Well, I want to keep my usefulness to you intact.
Oh yes. Oh yes, you do.
I would say, as I understand it, we are not the first Yuan-Ti you've come across.
Which is fair. I have met a friend of yours, I could say.
Now that is stretching.
Let's get to the chase. Where do I find this cure?
I do not have any experience in curing Akasha's root guards. It's never been an interest of mine, but there is someone you know who may have done something like similar in the past. Someone
That
opposed to Akash.
So you're saying that Idris could potentially solve our problems?
Kind of gestures for you to be quiet as he looks over to Pythias and Jinzo. Listen, he kind of leans in. We agreed that I was going to be kept alive and I was going to be treated with respect. If you start making it seem obvious that I am helping you, me remaining safe becomes very difficult to maintain.
I'll say Pim starts to play a little bit louder to sort of keep the other
Okay.
Very
two.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to roll. I'm going to roll perception checks at disadvantage. Okay, they are very engaged with Pim. They do not appear to be. The other two Yuan-Ti do not appear to be observing your conversation with Anshin.
If one of them becomes a problem, and I think I know which one, let me know.
He looks over to them, and smiles, looks back to you, and goes, "Noted."
Very good.
Okay.
I
So-
appreciate the information.
So, anything else from anyone in the vehicle?
Nope.
Okay. You guys are pulling into the Froggrove. You guys are Cress and Lycus, you guys are flying in, right?
They do a
Rest-
couple circles, like a steamer jump, like low enough for him.
Oh god, yes. And he like bounces his way up on Comfort's back, sort of like on a bicycle when you're on 2 feet, and just cross falls.
Lycus, are you picky about where you land?
I think he would try to land where the most people would see him.
Okay, so kind of, okay. As you guys are kind of going over, it is late. The two of you, can see very clearly that there is still activity in the town, but it is not necessarily a, you don't see any of the Yuan-Ti or you don't see any of the Wild Hunt's crew. But you see that the town has actually undergone some updates in your absence. As I move you guys over to the town map here, you can see
Ooh.
that the Froggrove has seen some industry. You can see that the ship, the Wild Hunt, has actually been moved out from where it was tucked underneath that cliff. It has been propped up on supports, and there are automata who are busy working on it, right? You can hear the hammering, you can hear industry coming from that area. As you guys are flying in, you can see that the sails of the Honor have actually been turned into canvas roofs, pagodas, that kind of cover over the Pond Mother's pond. You see the bow of the ship, the bow of the Honor, has actually been placed in the Frog Mother's pond, creating a sort of structure, a sort of den. The Keelbreaker crab, the giant crab that the Wild Hunt, the Crooked Wild Hunt had helped acquire.
Excavate, yeah.
Yes, it has been actually moved and tied up, and it's very hard to make out, but if you guys zoom in on the tree over there, you can just about see that it has been fastened to the top of the Shlabubdub, the great tree. You can see several of the 3 bows of 3 various ships in the past that are just jutting out of the top of this creature, as it has become part of the creature. You can see Gazalik, who is working on beneath a kind of thatched roof structure, just kind of at the base of the tree. So that's what you see. You also see Kanari, Yoma, and Sarah kind of coming out of mud huts, right? Actually, sorry, I just remember what time it is. You see Kanari coming out of mud huts. Yoma and Sarah are nowhere to see. They're probably asleep at this hour.
As they should be.
As they should be. They're good kids. All right. So you can see also some palisades and defenses have been brought up around the perimeter of the Froggrove. They has been busy.
Amazing.
You also see something is kind of at work over on the raised ledge above the Pond Mother's grove. Hard to make out what it is at this time, but something is underway. So, as you drop down, probably in the middle of town here, and as Cuthbert kind of flies over, you get the sense, you see the automata start to react, right? You see people start to kind of come out of different places and step forward to observe what's about to happen. You see Idris emerge from a tent. Down at the bottom there, you see Gazalik step out. Wubba-Dub-Dub, the Furball alchemist, also steps out. Kanari steps out. Your buddy, Gub-Dub, stands forward, and the captain, Hammond Flintlock, stands at the bow of his ship as you guys come. There is a stretch of the wings of flare as Lycus kind of drops up behind and is able to slow fall down. Cuthbert and Cress touch down in the center of town, and there is a cloud of dust billowing up on the far side of the village as Luna's vehicle is being pulled in. You also see that the vehicle is parked here, which we'll get into in a moment.
I'm gonna just mention to Luna, don't go too fast. Try not to allow Idris to spot our passengers yet. I'm going to go ahead.
Okay.
So essentially, as he's coasting in, I kind of want to jump off the boat and kind of move ahead of it to speak with Aegis.
We can probably park it somewhere around here.
Give me that ping again.
Somewhere here-ish.
Sure. So I'll say your vehicle is parked there. The other vehicle is parked kind of down here, right near to the ship.
I'll mention back. It's keep an eye on them. Don't let them get out yet.
Okay. So I think this is a great place to take a break, as you guys have arrived back in the Froggrove.
Oh yeah.
And seen
We
that it is
did
seen
it.
the updates. Well done, team.
The
Well
grove
done.
looks so good.
It does. Look at them.
It's been cleaned up a bit. It's
A
been
lot
cleaned
of
up
work
a bit.
in just a couple.
Rebuilding.
Automatons, my friend, they do not need to sleep.
True.
Hell yeah.
So, while everybody else is resting, Idris keeps those guys industrious. Yep.
All right.
At least that's what you can gather as you observe this. All right. The crew has just arrived back in the Froggrove. It is late at what would normally be night, but in the current world, it's not really the case. But it is late of the hour. As you guys return, you see Idris is standing in a campsite, kind of observing your arrival. Captain Hammond stands at the bow of his ship, and he looks out, he leans on the gunwale as he's looking out towards you all. Gazalik emerges from a hut near what looks to be a giant barrel with a ladder attached to it beneath some sort of little wooden construct. What do you guys do as you come back into town?
Well, after I land, I stand up, give a bow, and immediately go find Idris.
I'm gonna follow up and go to Idris.
Easily enough. Yeah, as you guys kind of come back in, Eleanor and Lycus, you guys can easily see Idris standing there, and as you are approaching back, he goes, Captain Lycus! When I saw the crew of the Wild Hunt return, I imagined you were successful.
Incredibly so. In fact, we were so successful, I think we need to have a little talk before the rest of the crew shows up.
Certainly.
So, I would never want to be at ends with you, but Eleanor and I promised, more or less, to maybe be a bit of a wall between you and what's coming.
Looks at the two of you. It's hard to read his expression. He has his stone helm on in the shape of a serpent as he kind of angles between the two of you. What are you talking about?
We took some prisoners and
Some-
ran into your friends.
Mhm.
Well, not so much your friends, but you know what I mean.
We killed many of them, if that helps, but these particular prisoners are incredibly terrified that you might kill them on sight, and we would like to make sure that's not going to happen.
Wait. Are you telling me you've captured members of the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent?
Yes.
And you want me to let them live?
For now,
You're
we have to
bringing
pump
them...
them. We have to pump them for more information.
Can I land? Can I
Yes.
be present for
Yeah.
this?
Absolutely. You see Lycus and Edenor talking over to Idris, and you see his body language very much at some point goes from kind of like welcoming and relaxed
To not, yeah.
to not. A little bit more serious, hands on his hips as he kind of leans forward a bit.
Idris, I'm not
Yes.
gonna mince words. Luna's in danger, and they're the ones who can help us to get her back to the way she was. I need you to let them live for now. They're all so different. One of them's just a kid who wanted to get out of that city. You know as well as I do that no one could get out. What I'm asking for is a little charity and some care for Luna.
Luna has been, I don't know what to put it.
Cursed to become a brood guard.
Yes. Crest put it quite simply.
Sorry.
Luna's been cursed to become a broodguard, you say?
Yes. I'll switch posts with Luna and Pim, and you can take a look for yourself. So I'll just pop over to the boat. And I'll
And he goes,
walk
I am
an eye
happy
on
to
it.
walk over there myself.
Idris.
Just give me a moment. We have some goblins that I want to keep an eye on as well. I don't want them out of the boat yet.
Okay.
More prisoners. I'm
You...
gonna go back out while they're still talking.
Well, yeah, while you're doing that and swapping with Luna, he turns to
And Pim.
Cress and Pim. He turns to Cress and Lycus, the two of you, and he goes, I don't know what happened out there, but I do know the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent. These are not people you make deals with. These are people that will use you to fuel their own ends. They will drain you dry, literally.
Well,
And
come on. Why don't we use them then?
Lycus, you understand the situation I'm in right now better than anybody. I am trying to make peace here with the Pond Mother. I'm trying to let them realize that we are not wolves to be feared, and they not sheep. Yet, you bring wolves right to our door.
This, if anything, will highlight your differences.
You think the Pond Mother sees differences between the Cabal and me?
I think she can. I think she will. Maybe not yet. But there's
There's
time.
also evidence that we have brought to show that difference. The Cabal is planning to smear the name of the Sanguine Sodality. We have evidence to prove this. That could increase your standing with the Pond Mother.
Perhaps I will leave convincing the Pond Mother that there is a difference and that not all Yuan-Ti come from the same scales. At this point, Pim and Luna, you guys are arriving. Edenor, you are back with the camp. Just give me a perception check as you arrive there, Edenor.
I'm just, essentially getting back on the boat. Keep an eye on all of them. That would be... 18.
18? All right.
Yep.
You're keeping an eye on the prisoners, right? With your 18, you notice Kunari, the Kalishtar first mate of Idris's, approaching.
Hello, Kunari.
We'll come back to you in a second.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep him at a distance,
Yes,
though.
so
I just want to
Kunari
acknowledge him. before he comes up.
Kunari is approaching, and Kunari is very curious. Luna and Pim, you have regrouped with Lycus, Cress, and Idris as they stand outside the tent.
Yeah, as I show up, I'll like try and keep the face that is more, the side of the face that is more normal, I guess more present until showing up. And as I fall in line, right in front of him, I'll look straight at him so like he gets a good view. Let's go.
Take
Just
your shades off.
Like a well, the shades stay in the car, obviously.
Oh, okay, got your
And-
shades stay in the car. Fair point.
Yeah.
Got it.
Let's just do like a joke bow of saying, like what you see. What's happening to me?
Well, you looked better. You have been subjected to the Birut Guard poison.
That's correct.
You are being turned into a beast that is a servant of the Cabal of Slumbering Serpent. If you are not cured before your transformation is complete, there is no turning back. And your friends here, if they are your friends at all, they will kill you as mercy.
How do we fix it?
Spell, it's not complicated to fix. You would need a magic capable of restoring something. You need a magic that can restore your body back to its previous state. Looking at you, I would say you are roughly halfway between the transformation.
Apparently it's happening a lot faster than it normally does.
And that's very disturbing news. When were you poisoned?
6 hours ago?
Turns towards you, Crest. That's not correct.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Gets closer to you, Luna, looks you over, and goes, I would say you were poisoned days ago. Maybe as much as a week. Maybe a little less. 6 hours ago, for this, Luna, you wouldn't even be walking if that were the case. You would be asleep. It puts you to sleep as soon as you take it, and then you wake up over the course of perhaps 2 weeks, you transform.
So I've been potentially poisoned a week to 10 days range. Okay.
We know that they were studying the city that fell out of the sky. Do you think it happened then, Luna? Did you fall unconscious then?
I recall being poisoned, but it was from a creature on my way to Mudano.
Luna, roll a history check at advantage with your keen mind.
Oh, cool. Natural 20 for 27.
Sweet.
Okay.
I remember.
I'm not going to break any of, I'm not going to reveal much of your backstory here, but I want you to think about
Oh,
how you
and-
came to the jungle,
okay. I
where you, yes,
already know.
okay.
I was imprisoned. Do I remember if it was fellow Yuanti?
You saw a variety of individuals, Yuanti
Right.
amongst them. You saw lizard folk who were working as slaves.
Goblins too.
Some goblins.
I think I recall when it happened. It's been
When would that be?
let's see, I think if I include the time on the honor coming here, I would put that like at 7 days. David?
With your keen mind, it would be 5. That would have been on the 15th. Today is the 20th.
Would have made it about 5 days. Okay. Give me around 5 to 9 days. 5 days if I'm lucky.
So we need this specific kind of magic to reverse what's happening to you. Is there anyone here who can do that?
I assume it's greater restoration when you talk about restorative magic.
Nothing quite so complicated. Some of the clerical members of our order were able to reverse it.
Above game, would I feel like something like lesser restoration could work?
Yes.
Thank you. I was like trying to figure out whether or not I had access to it.
Yep.
Okay.
Can any of us do that, or are they still here, the members of your order who can do it?
I think I can do that.
You can?
Yeah. Not today.
Okay. Well, we have a little bit of time, right?
And say, looking at Luna, I would say you have a few days.
So let's try to get some rest, and then, Cress, you can give it a shot.
All right. Is that okay, Luna?
Works for me. I don't know how to thank you.
You're my friend. You don't have to thank me.
Pip squeaks.
And the friend word. Chris said the friend word. They said the friend.
Cress is
said the
making
F
friends.
word.
I'm so excited.
They said the
I'll
F
make it
word.
up. I'll make it up to you someday.
You don't owe me.
He just turns to you, Lycus, and he goes, I am glad you've returned. As you can see, we've been working quite a bit around here. Things are going fairly well. The one exception is that, and he points towards the, unconstructed structure up on the cliff. He says, that is supposed to be a watchtower, but I put your first mate in charge, and he is not getting to work, as he said he would. I'd like you to go talk to him, please.
Sure. For the record, my first mate is that guy. He points over to Ednor.
That's not what I was told, but that is crew business. I assume business within your respective crew is yours to deal with.
All right. I'll go deal with Talk.
It would be most appreciated. Is there anything else I can do for you all?
What's your water supply levels currently?
Improving. The lizard folk shaman, he's been hard at work creating water. And he said he observed Cress here perform that magic and was inspired to attempt it himself. Since then, he's been supplying us consistently day after day. The other lizard folk, though, I believe they left. Shortly after you all departed, they up and left. But Gazalik remained.
Okay, well, if you need assistance with water needs, you can always ask me.
Oh, well, I'm just improving the defenses. As far as water, food, that sort of thing, I would either talk to Gazalik or perhaps the Pond Mother, but lately the Pond Mother has not been very social. After we made that structure, she's retreated in there and not emerged since.
Probably because prejudice take time to go away.
I would assume so.
We'll work on that. Idris. There's a young man who we brought back, who I would very much like to keep by my side. His name is Jinzo. He's a UNT,
is a member of the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent.
I don't believe he holds any attachment to the Cabal. I think it was a way out. Can you respect that?
Roll a persuasion check, please.
So wait, as you do that, I can provide some assistance here as well. If you give me some time, go back into my book, I could probably dive into their minds. You can ask them, will they leave the Cabal, something along those lines, and then I can tell if they're actually telling the truth deep inside.
Well, you can try, but these are Yuan-Ti from Saras. They've lived among the Kalishtar for quite some time. They are very adept at protecting their thoughts.
Are there I'm sorry, I rolled a persuasion, then I got curious. Are there
Yeah.
Kalishtar in Straras?
A significant population of them, yes. Konari is from such a house. Your persuasion check was a 16, you said?
No, it was a 12.
It was a 12. Okay. He looks at you carefully. When my sheep went down, you recovered my crew. You healed them, though you did not know us. I will not forget this. You keep an eye on him, and I will spare him. But if he steps out of line, if he jeopardizes what I'm working for here, the peace I'm trying to build, my choices become very limited.
I understand and respect that, and I thank you very much.
I thank you for saving my crew.
Captain Idris,
Yes,
has there been any word from either of my parents while we were gone?
your parents? I'm sorry, I don't believe I've heard anything of that nature.
Oh, I'll go ask someone else then.
Certainly. Good luck. Well, if that's everything, it's quite late. I'm happy to see you all return, but I need my sleep.
Just before going, did you have and Ali butchered this for me because I only know it as Toledo. What is
Talode.
Talode.
Do you have a Talode working under you as part of your crew previously?
Talode? No, I do not, but
Recognize the name?
I do. The Cabal has 3 Pete Masters, they call them. Under each of them, there are proteges, students who study. Talode is the student of one named Akash.
Good news, there are only 2 now.
Well, that is good news indeed. And I suppose I have you all to thank for this.
Cress looks up at Edenor.
To be honest, I don't even really know how they did it. We were kind of locked behind a wall, but it sounded like it went really well for them.
Looks to Edenor and looks to you, Cress, and says, "Well, you are fierce warriors. I hope we remain friends, for my sake."
Ednor can't hear any of this.
Edenor can't hear any of this.
He's just standing staring at prisoners.
Yep.
He does have his sensor out as well.
If that's everything for you guys, right?
Yeah, I'll just say, like, we have more information. I'll tell him we do have some more information, but right, rest comes first.
You all look very tired. I suggest you take a moment, collect yourselves.
Where can we?
I have 2 tents available here. Otherwise, perhaps some of the Gripply would be fine sharing their huts. I don't know. you'd have to check with them.
Where
You are
can we
heroes of
put-
the Froggrove, after all.
Oh, wow. Where can we put the prisoners?
Perhaps Captain Flintlock has a brig or some sort on his vessel.
Okay.
Okay. Adenor, you are watching the prisoners. You are observing, and you see Kanari as she approaches. And as she gets closer, she looks and says, "Huh. Looks like you've had quite an adventure."
Say that. Picked up a couple of extras along the way.
So I see. Members of the Cabal of the Slumbering Serpent, no doubt.
We need them for some more information.
Oh. You don't have to worry about me, but the captain might have different opinions.
Well, that's what the rest of them are all talking to the captain about. Don't you worry.
Ah,
I'm just here to make sure that nothing off happens, and I'm just gonna honestly just look at the goblins, just like give me a reason.
Clink smiles back with like attempted innocence.
I don't believe that smile for one moment. Then looks back over at Kanar.
Your wards, the children.
Yes, of course.
They've
Nova and
been
Sarah.
they've been quite industrious. You'd be happy to know.
Very good. What have they been up to? They've been doing their
They've been
studies.
they've been helping. Well, there's a lot to do around here, as you imagine. They've been helping me gather herbs for Wabadub so that he can create potions and the like. But when they're not doing that, I imagine they're studying. They spend a lot of time up the hill for whatever reason.
The hill. Okay. Well, I'll have to inquire with. the two of them.
And
I
roll a
assume
quick
there's-
roll a quick history check.
All right, I'm going to use a. Actually, I'm gonna save my
inspo.
inspiration. I'm gonna save my inspiration. It's a nat one. So,
It's an at one. Yeah, no, it just doesn't seem quite remarkable. You're just distracted.
Bad dad. Yeah.
Interrupt. Yeah.
Yeah.
The hill. I've been murdering and intimidating things for quite a bit. I can't quite place that at this moment.
Well, you should check in with them. In fact,
Of course.
they have been taken to studying some alchemy with Wabadub.
Oh, really?
I believe they made a potion for you. I helped them with some of the formula myself, but they seem to produce something. I think they'd be happy to give.
A potion?
You should see them when you get a chance.
Of course, of course.
As for your prisoners, do you have a plan for them?
Well, either I'm sure we'll find a space for them to keep them under wraps. Otherwise, we'll just have to post up a little tent and then make sure that they are thoroughly restrained. But they will not be free roaming. If that's what you're wondering.
That sets my mind at ease somewhat. Very well. Good to see you again. If you don't mind, the hour is very late. I was just checking on the kids, actually. They're just in that hut over there.
Ah, very good. Yes, I'll have to check on them. I may let them sleep and then deal with them in the morning.
It'll be quite a surprise for them, I'm sure.
Yes. Thank you.
Uh,
Thank you for telling me all this.
Of course. I imagined you'd feel better knowing that, at least they were taken care of while you were away.
Of course. Yes, I'm glad that they were useful. Seeing that looks like not everyone was, so I'm glad that they were. I just kind of look at the tower, kind of a little confused. So
Kanari walks by, pets you on the shoulder, and says, you helped my family. I'm happy to help yours.
oh, thank you. And I just kind of nod and keep an eye on the rest of them.
Sure. Okay. So they're not up to much. They are very much like just waiting for orders. The goblins, and you've been sufficiently intimidating in encounters previous, that they know better than to test you.
Very good.
So, what do you all do?
May I head on to Hammond's Flintlock's ship?
You certainly may.
I'll look for him.
Okay. He is awaiting you all. Is just Pim? Do the rest of you go?
I think I'm gonna start escorting the prisoners over.
I'll just
go
tell him
with him.
I'm gonna go see if there's a brig we can use on Flintlock's ship.
Okay.
I'll start moving them in that direction. Otherwise, I'll find something else to do with them.
Sure. Luna and Lycus, what are you guys up to? Real quick.
I think I'm going to have a chat with Talk real quick.
Okay. Okay, we'll get to you in a moment then. Luna?
I'll make sure my car is parked in the shade.
Wouldn't want to get too hot.
Yeah. But here's the thing, right? Around here, shade is a limited supply. So roll your Arcana check to drive.
It's a slutty 20.
Right. And you are able to find some shade. Where the Wild Hunt was previously shipwrecked. Seems like it'll grant at least sufficient amount of shade. I will say too, this is not the same blazing kind of like sky that you had earlier. This is still a very kind of dusty, very foggy sky. More yellowish and green in color than the bright, blaring blue of before. Bright, blaring blue.
Well, it's 12 at midnight.
Yeah, it is solidly midnight now.
I think I'm going to head to the. It was like one of the tents in the south.
Sure, for Idris's like campsite.
Or was that one of the tents you're referring to when he said?
Oh yeah, yep, yeah. One of the tents just kind of in his little campsite there.
I think last time too we took a rest on the ship.
You took a rest on the ship last time. Yeah.
So that's an option too.
I'll wait by the campfire area for now until everyone
Okay.
goes again.
Sounds good. All right, Pim, you are headed up the gangplank. You are climbing onto the waist of the Wild Hunt. You see the giant GIF hippo man as he kind of looms. I mean, you come up to about his knee as he is like,
Ahoy there, Captain!
Pirminia now.
It is I, Paminia.
So it is. I am happy to see your return.
Me too, let me tell you. I was just wondering, we've got some prisoners. They're cool, don't worry. They're all tied up and whatnot. But we, do you have a break we could put? Yeah, sorry.
I've heard about your prisoners. Cassius and the rest of the crew came by earlier. They explained that you might have company.
Yeah. Yep.
We've cleared the brig for you. You can. It is available to your crew.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll get them in here. How have things been? How's the restoration going? It looks amazing, I have to say.
Things have been going quite smoothly thanks to Captain Idris and his automata, I suppose is the plural.
Yeah.
I'd heard from my crew just how dashing and valiant you all were in their defense and their rescue.
Well, yeah, we were. I mean, it was a successful mission.
A success befitting a reward.
Oh. Really?
Certainly. You helped my crew. It is the least I can do is to repay you.
Wow. That's really kind of you. I wasn't expecting that.
Come with me. I will supply you with what I can.
Okie dokie.
Leads you back towards the captain's quarters. Opens into a room. You can see that this room is like when you walk. You remember when Ace Ventura kind of walked in to the trophy room, right? Again, heads on the walls, stuffed animals. You know, this guy is a big game hunter.
You really like hunting, don't you?
I certainly do. Moves over to the table and kind of, you see, withdraws a key, opens up a large drawer, kind of pulls it out, and sets on the table a black satin bag. It says, "These here are ammunition. I've noticed, or it's been told to me at least, that a couple of your party members wield firearms."
Yes, we did grab some firearms. Actually, I was going to ask you if maybe you could help some of us become a little more comfortable with that weapon.
It would take time, but certainly.
Yeah.
Cassius, our first mate, is an excellent instructor.
Great.
These here bullets are certainly, you'll find, more effective, more lethal than the regular stock.
Okay, we love that.
So you have 10 plus 1 bullets.
10 plus 1 bullets, baby. Okay.
Additionally, now, unfortunately, my stores are dwindling at the moment. Typically, I'd have a bit more cash and that sort of thing to give you some sort of more significant reward. But in return for your assistance, I promise the allegiance of my crew to yours.
Hey, that's worth more than money can buy, let me tell you.
Well, it just so happens that I am something of an enchanter. My specialty is working with exotic material, typically material that one would acquire on the creatures, large game creatures that could be hunted.
We have some of that. We have something. I'm not really sure.
Well, bring it by.
But we'll bring it by, yeah. We'll see what you can do.
Bring it by, we'll see. Additionally, Cassius is a very keen study and keen ears. I understand that your crew encountered some lizard folk while you were out there.
Where did we? Sorry, Hannah's forgetting.
They were
You freed them.
prisoners. They were some of Piranhas.
Oh.
Yep. And they went off and did their own thing. They didn't
Right.
come with us.
Right. Yes, we did.
As I understand it, it sounds like they are part of an event, a hunt of some sort.
Yeah, there's a big contest going on out there right now.
Roll an insight check at advantage.
Yeah.
We would love your assistance.
18.
With an 18, you see that this individual, who is for the most part composed and gentlemanly, is excited. You get a sort of like high anticipation, like trying to very not subtly trying to breach the topic.
Yeah. I'm gonna.
It's a hunt.
I'll start talking it up a little bit. Yeah. It's
The game is afoot.
I wish Lycus was there to hold up the monkey feet at that line.
Literally a foot.
Literally, here it is a foot.
Yeah, no, it's happening. This contest, though, it's pretty important that we don't let anyone else find this thing. Do you know the details? No?
I do not. Cassius only overheard a minimum, enough to pique our interest.
I can imagine. Yeah, well, here's what we know. There's a black raptor out there. It's big. It's scary. The contest is to hunt him down, get its heart, and deliver it to Verania to awaken something really, really bad.
I don't know anything about that, but a black raptor, you say?
I can see where your focus lies. Yes, a black raptor. Yes.
Just so happens I've seen such a creature.
Yes.
I was scouting the hills to the west when I saw it making its way. It travels with a pack. It was just me out there. Otherwise, I would have certainly attempted. But it is an impressive specimen.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we're interested in being the first to claim this for our own reasons. I can tell that you would be interested in this hunt too, and you have the skill and the wherewithal, don't you?
I have the skill, I have the wherewithal, I have the manpower. However, they are in need of convalescence. And while they are eager to get on the hunt, unfortunately, their doctor is not exactly willing to let his patients leave his ward until they are fully recuperated.
Mr. Ulrich, you mean?
It's been rare that I've ever heard anyone call him Mr., but certainly Ulrich, yes.
Well, perhaps I could talk to him.
You can certainly welcome to try. I don't see what difference it would make, but
I can
perhaps
be very persuasive.
if you can get him to agree to let the crew hunt, I would be most appreciative.
All right.
We must pursue now while the trail is fresh. And he
Well-
starts moving over to his table and starts pulling out maps and charts, and he starts laying them out across.
Well-
He's got.
Sorry. Well, hold on now. I mean, we're pretty exhausted. We just got back from a pretty massive fight. So we're going to have to rest a little bit. But first thing in the morning, for sure.
Yes. Take all the time you need. You do that. There will be no resting for me tonight.
Okay, just make sure you're in tip-top shape in the morning. We've got a hunt. Very important hunt to get to.
As I'm escorting the prisoners in. So you're going to be up tonight. Perfect. Please make sure that they don't get up into any trouble. I'm going to cinch them down, make it very impossible and uncomfortable for them. But I just want to make sure there's no prison breaks.
We've got a functioning brig below.
Yep.
It's mainly used to house exotic beasts that we would be bringing back for trade or sale, but you are certainly welcome to use it for your prisoners.
Can I take them down and essentially tie them to like individual bars in there, essentially where they cannot move?
You can,
That's
yeah.
what I'd like to do.
You absolutely can. Right? They are fairly compliant for the most part. They are, again, not looking to step on your toes, right? So you're able to kind of get them shackled up. As Pim and Edenor, as you are departing the office, the captain's quarters, you hear as the door closes, "Ha! The game is afoot!" As he gets very excited about
Love
the
it.
hunt to come.
Oh,
I'm
my
so
God.
fucking glad he's here.
Yes, same.
Can I, since I'm not with this group,
Mhm.
do I see any individuals who don't seem like we've seen them before? Because I feel like our call grew.
Anyone like new to the camp?
Yeah.
Looking around, it doesn't appear that there's anyone new to the camp. It does definitely seem though that the automata, and you can see them working tirelessly. I mean, you saw them before, but not in modes of industry. They are moving. They are like hoisting beams, right? They are removing panels. You can see them kind of sawing at the bottom of the ship as they are repairing hulls, and you see them kind of modifying the stern of the ship somewhat.
For flight, does it look like?
Well, at the moment, it's really more just kind of like a hollowed out shell, but we will see. You can investigate further if you'd like.
I'd love to.
Okay. You see, they are kind of like, sawing away
At-
sections.
No.
of-
4.
Okay. Unfortunately, it's difficult to see what they might be doing, but it does look like they are hollowing out the rear stern of the ship, which, by the way, Edenor and Pim, as you guys are making your way down with the prisoners, right, you hear all of that activity towards the stern of the ship. You are heading kind of towards the bow, but as you kind of peek out towards the door, you can see that it just kind of opens out into the Froggrove. Like the back of the ship is gone. You can even see Crest standing there with automata kind of, working along the back. So the bottom of the ship just opens out. It is a very easy exit, especially from the brig.
Okay.
So right. Let's see. Lycus, you were going to see Talk. You were going to talk to Talk.
I was gonna have a little talk with Talk.
All right. Real quick, are the rest of you going to go rest, or do you want to do this scene with Lycus first?
I'm gonna rest. I mean, well, are you trying to talk to all of us? What are you doing? You're talking to
He's talking to
Talk. Oh, you're talking to Talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna start resting. It's time.
Okay.
Luna, do you want me to watch first, or do you want to watch first?
Still a little awake. I'll do the
All right.
first watch.
I'll take the early morning watch, the third watch.
Oh, we both just trains for 4 hours, so you can absolutely join me if you want to.
Lycus. So we'll say the rest of the party is Luna. You are about to begin your watch. The rest of the party is starting their long rest. Lycus, you approach you walk up the rise, your coat flapping in the wind, right? And as you approach, you see there is the deconstructed beginnings, not even beginnings of a watchtower. Really, it's more just wood has been bundled up. Canvas is strewn and pinned underneath, various pieces of the construction. And you see that there is one bit of construction, one makeshift little lean-to tent, beneath which sleeps a large bugbear, a large hulking shape with which you are familiar. Just
I'm going to find like the whatever tent post is like holding up the structure. Just kind of pull it.
okay. Easy enough. You pull that piece out, and it kind of crashes down. Pulls it off. What the hell? Looks over, sees you.
Oh, I'm sorry that I wake you. I was just admiring your handiwork, and one wrong pull, and it all just fell down. If only we had a better structure, you'd have probably better sleep.
What do you want?
Talk. I don't want to play these games anymore. It's fun, but you joined the crew as a means to not be murdered, essentially. You were given pay. Everything is fair, equitable.
Actually, you've yet to pay me.
I'm terribly sorry. The days have been rough. And whatever amount that I agreed to, I think it was like a gold or two per or whatever per
No. Keep your money. You see, I've thought of a different payment. The elf that travels with you, Luna. I saw she seems to have some sort of item capable of producing rain. I want that.
for your services.
For my services thus far, yes.
They are definitely not worth that. I'm sorry.
As your first mate, I feel I have some say on what loot is distributed where.
Who? Talk, let's start this over. What is it that you want with your life?
It's an odd thing to wonder, I suppose, immediately. I'd like to continue living, for one. I would like to make profit. I would like to live an easy existence. I would like to not have to worry about where my next meal is going to be. Maybe, at the very least, I could start with having a captain who provides some leadership.
Okay. This is something I can help with. You want safety, security, some amount of leisure. To do so, you're going to have to put in the effort when it is time. Rest comes after. You were tasked with something, you did not complete it, and instead, you've been resting, from what I understand, far too long. You are not my first mate. You are barely more than a prisoner when we first found you. You were a slaver and a monster. Now, if you wish to stay with us, you will take pay, like the rest, or you can leave and bear the wilds, bear the creatures that we have fought, and whatever else finds you. But we're not going to babysit you. We're not going to care for you unless you put in the effort to be a true member of the crew. This is not a threat. I'm just letting you know where we go from here.
I feel like this deserves either persuasion or intimidation. Your choice. Whichever one you roll, you are going to do so at advantage.
Let's see what my character sheet tells me to roll. Intimidation, great.
What's your intimidation? Go for it.
First one's a 6.
And got the advantage.
All right. Question: if I use inspiration, can I just roll again?
Yes.
Okay. Inspiration. Got it. Okay. So that's +4 with my intimidation. With a 16, that's 20.
20. Very well, Captain. I will finish this watchtower, but we will need to revisit the subject of how your crew is organized. Keep in mind, when you commandeered my ship, I was first mate there. I assumed my rank, carried over with new management.
If I find you to be more useful than Ednor, then you can take his place. Until then, you are rank and file, like anyone else.
Very well.
Don't worry, it won't affect your pay.
Okay. Finish out the night and then work on this in the morning.
Talk, I hope to see you grow. And I'm just gonna walk away.
As you walk away, please roll a perception check.
Okay. What is my perception? +5, I think. Yes, that is a 19.
Okay, with a 19, you see him kind of like glance over the construction site and roll back over. Do me a favor. Roll another perception check. This is going to be advantage to the one you just rolled. The 19 got you this. Let's see if you get any higher. Just in case.
Okay. It is a little bit higher. Rolled an 18. So that's 23.
With the 23, Lycus, you catch a whiff of something, because this check is actually towards advantage. That first one was towards seeing. The second one is towards a sense of smell, which you have advantage on. You, as you walk away from your point, your vantage here, you get a much clearer rush of it. And on that wind, you smell seawater. You smell the salty brine of the sea.
You said it's coming from a direction?
With this check, it does. It seems to be coming from up past this site, up into the hills.
Okay. I think while everyone is clearly sitting down to rest, I think I'm going to go check what's up on the hill.
You follow the scent until it brings you to actually a more familiar sight. This is actually a path that you've traveled before. This is leading to your secret little lair where you and Gubdub would make frog wine. This is leading, though, not to there, but to Rami's grave, where you buried the heart. And as you approach, you see the gravestone. You see remnants of the dirt that it was freshly dug. This has not been a long-standing structure. But at the base of that gravestone, my friend, you see a black skull. And the scent of seawater emanates from that object.
Okay. I guess I'm going to kneel down and grab it.
When you touch it, I need a charisma saving throw at disadvantage, but I will also let you know that if you so wish, you can choose to fail.
Okay. Here's one question. So, I've been a sailor for a long, long time. Do I know what this means?
You may roll a history check, please.
Oh, doggy. Well, it was a 14, but I -1, 13.
You've heard strange tales. You've heard tales of various bits of, lore around rituals at sea. You've heard tales of some legends. You've heard that pirates follow a code, and you know that on occasion, those who enforce such laws may attempt to reach out in strange esoteric ways.
All right. So if I'm touching it and I'm sort of getting this memory of that concept, I think I'm just gonna let whatever compulsion is happening happen.
Yeah, because as you get closer to it, as you kind of kneel down, you can even start to hear like the rigging of ships. Whoop. That is not what I thought that was.
It's a joyful tune.
It's a very joyful little tune. You start to hear the kind of creaking and rigging of ships. The smell of salt water starts to like really just fill your nostrils. You feel almost as you touch this for a moment as you look out over past Rami's grave towards the Froggrove. You can see into the distance where the coast would have been. And as your vision darkens, for a moment you can see what it looked like back when you were a young man, back when this place looked over the ocean. And like us, the world goes dark, closes in around you, and it goes into like a light little bright twinkle right at the center, like a CRT tube TV.
Mm-hmm.
And from the darkness, you drift. And eventually, you become aware of something. You become aware of different things in different moments. You become aware that you are laying down. You become aware that you are rocking, swaying. A sensation you are familiar with. A sensation of being on a boat and feeling the sea just kind of nudging along the sides. You smell salt water. You hear waves lightly. And as you come to wakefulness, as you open your eyes, you look around and you realize you are no longer in the Froggrove. You are aboard a raft. It is pentagon in shape, 5 sides. It is made of old, reliable wood, the kind of stuff that, those old ships that you would have served on, those kind of like reliable pieces and from each side, you see these large chains. The sea around you is dark, black, except for twinkling lights like stars. And as waves kind of crest and crash, you see them kind of spraying out the sea spray in different colors like nebulas, like an aurora borealis in a night sky. You see, as you follow the chains, the waves crash against the chains, and they crash against ships against which the chains are attached. Your raft is surrounded by 5 ships. And you hear, as you look around, what is Lycus thinking in this moment? What are you feeling?
I think in this moment he feels kind of like that bit of like sickly joy, because this is familiar, like the smell of the sea, the bobbing, everything feels like he's having, like he's on a boat now, and he feels like it's the first time he's had solid footing in weeks, you know? So he's getting a little nostalgic, and he's remembering his time spent with his first captain and the stories about whatever the fuck this is, just kind of thinking to himself, so I didn't really think this was real. Well, okay.
As you take in the sights around you, you hear a knocking. I call to order this meeting of the Brethren Court. And you see one of the ships looming, illuminated from beneath by the astral sea. You see a figure walk to the gunwale. It looks like an elf. A trifold hat, a large, long feather of brass and gold sticking from it. He's dressed in very shaped plate mail with leather straps around his waist, and he is really quite muscular. He's like quite Edinor muscular, handsome, but from his silver dreadlocks, you see around his face is tied a black satin strap so that you cannot see his eyes. He steps forward and he goes, "Are you Captain Lycus D. Stratus?
I?
And you claim to be a pirate?"
The best, actually.
So I've heard. Well, Captain, you have been summoned here before the Brethren Court for a matter most serious. It seems, my friend, that you have broken the oath of parley. You've broken our laws.
So what does this mean for me?
It means judgment. It means you will be tried before us. We will decide what your fate is going to be. Whether you will be punished for breaking the code, whether you will be exiled from being a pirate, or something more permanent.
Very well. I can save you some time then.
Please do.
Am I guilty? Yes. He wanted parley. It put my crew in danger. So I killed him. Simple as that. This is a problem. You'd rather I let my crew be endangered so I follow your silly rules? You think you know what it means to be a pirate better than I do? So come on, what do you want?
Well, it is not what I want. It is what the court wants. And he gestures outwards. And he gestures towards a ship. And he speaks and he says, Captain Astor, do you have any questions, any comments to offer Captain Lycus?
Maybe but a few. You'll see this individual, human male, well into his 50s, long, draped black jacket, cuffed and tattered blue and silver details, shaggy, salt and pepper hair with stubble to match, heavily scarred, with rapier at his side, and as he approaches, a small bronze sable animates, crawling onto his shoulder. I've been doing this for a while. Traveling, pirating. Everything this life dictates. You're in a lucky position, my friend. You're steeped in this life, young enough to learn from your mistakes and seize new opportunities. That is not anything to squander, Captain. You broke the Code of Honor. You say this is for your crew. Is that the truth as you stand in front of this group?
Yes. It was clear their intentions were to ambush us. I don't expect much honor from anyone, really. And I didn't feel like waiting just to watch them die.
That begets another question, yes? What is your crew to you? What do they mean?
Well, if I'm being honest, right now they're mostly just strangers. But they, in just minutes, if you meet them, you'll see potential. I believe they will be great, and I want to help them get there.
Well, personally, I cannot describe any stranger I would kill for so openly. So I choose to believe your word on their potential greatness. I stress not just an opinion, but what I believe to be a truth. We operate in strange and turbulent times. Wild and unforeseen in many circumstances. We are here to make sure that this order survives. The laws, in those most inopportune moments, protect us from our own savagery. I understand that when the line is thinnest, and when the night is darkest, we act on impulse. I'm teaching that to my son right now. But trust that your crew are just as capable as you are. Because there are many minutes that they are operating out of your sight. Ships operate on two things: trust and physical manpower. I think the trust is the most important thing. You, in that moment, trusted that you needed your crew, yes?
Yes.
I don't believe I can rightfully put him at fault then. Because I would gladly do the same for my crew. And hell, I'd be lying if I say I didn't in the past. What are you learning from this right now? What lessons do you take away from this gathering?
I am finding myself a bit too small to really understand. And really just becoming aware of how far I need to reach. What I take with me from here, whatever you give to me as punishment, is that it was worth it.
Finley, Captain Astor will look toward his elven compatriot. Do you really think punishment is necessary? I see this as a learning opportunity, my friend.
I am tempted to agree with you, but perhaps we should hear from the others. Lady Marichon, what is your opinion of Captain Lycus?
We, Captain Lycus. And you see a beautiful, dark, olive skin human with these glaring chestnut eyes. They're dark, but they're bright at the same time. And she's got a big beauty mark right here on her left cheek. Long, thick brunette dreadlocks pouring over her shoulders with a scarlet red scarf over her head tied on the side. This curvy hourglass figure. She wears a beige tunic wrapped in a dark red-brown leather bodice. Colorful skirts, the colors of the rainbow and everything in between, tied around her waist in many layers. It hangs down to about mid-calf, and you see her lace-up leather boots that match her bodice with a tall stiletto heel. And she bears 2 rapiers on either side of her hips. And a necklace on a silver chain. Or probably not silver. Let's go with gold. A gold chain, and a bright red crystal that's sort of glowing just against her sternum. She says, Captain Lycus, you knowingly break the code, and you don't seem to repent for your oath-breaking at all. This is concerning to me. The code is there for a reason. We follow the code to maintain order. I have but one question for you. Why do you wish to be a pirate?
Finally, a question that I understand. There is no other life that I can see. I need the freedom. The liberation comes to being a pirate. I don't know how else to act other than to sail, to look for fun, and try to bring it with me wherever I go. That freedom is all I want.
Yes, you have the heart of a true pirate indeed. And I believe the spirit of a good man. I have seen many a bad man in my day. You are not one of them. I see much potential in you, Lycus. I do not believe you deserve to be punished for this mistake that you have made. But you must tread very carefully moving forward. You must honor your crew. You must honor the code. And we will be watching you. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand.
I believe you. That is all.
All right. Leans forward, looks towards another vessel, gestures a hand. Captain Olive. Oh god, you got my accent.
Damn.
Fuck.
So, Captain Olive, if you would give us your opinion.
A petite little human, very humble, about 5 feet tall, long brown hair. It's tied back with a yellow bandana, very scullery maid-esque. They're wearing a clean blue dress with a little apron, and they have a frying pan, Excalibur, at their side. Right. Am I to understand that you intend to break parley again?
If need be, I will do anything that I have to do to protect the ones that I care about.
Captain Lycus D. Stratus, can you define parley for me?
An agreement to meet and discuss something.
An agreement to meet and discuss something. That is your understanding.
You know, I may not be the most adept at this particular line of piracy.
May I explain to you why parley is important?
He bowed his head. Yes.
It is a period of time where you can negotiate peace and truce between individuals. It is something that will keep your crew safe if you use it correctly. But if you show no regard for it, then why should anyone show regard for your attempts at parley? Keep your crew safe. It is irresponsible to ignore parley when it can be used to save those people you claim to care about, even if they are strangers.
I see. In that
When someone
case,
calls parley, the notion is that combat cannot commence until the parley is complete and an understanding has been met. You believe you met an understanding between this person, Telud, and yourself.
I believe, truly, that I understood who these people were. And
That is not what I asked.
in that case, we didn't quite get that far.
I am willing to forgive a first mistake. However, parley exists in order to protect our crews, to make sure that we can make peace before violence. It is something worth honoring in the future. What gives me pause is the fact that you seem like you will break it again. And that is something I am less willing to forgive, as I must protect my crew with the very same law. Your crew is not more or less important than mine. Mine is mine, and I will protect them just as you'll protect yours. So, if you break parley again, I shall see fit to punish you most severely. Does that seem fair?
Perfectly.
They kind of tighten their little bandana. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, by the way, for enlightening me on parley.
Peace is the most valuable thing in protecting those we care about.
There is one more voice I would like to speak at this council. Captain Bishop D. Stratus. If you could please enlighten us as to how you feel on the subject of Captain Lycus.
Dad?
So, you hear a strumming start to get louder and louder from the back as a much larger orc man appears, takes his place at the stand, essentially. He has a large horn and one large opposite tusk, dressed in the most garnished and opulent floral patterned shirt and raggedy pants. This does not look like a man who has wealth, and yet here he is. And he just kind of starts to giggle. Wow, this has been a lot of fun, guys. I have a few questions, so many questions actually, but I want to start with one. Lycus, what makes you think that you have the right to go around with that name? And so sir, no one gives me the right to do anything. As you are all pirates, so am I, and I take my rights. Well, okay. So, my compatriots have chosen to look past this thing you've got going on and vote to let you try again. I find you interesting. And more so than anything, I think I would like to see you get a little bit better, a little bit more impressive. Because if you're going to run around with my name, I need you to be far more impressive. And later, when we meet, maybe we'll resolve this little issue. And he kind of turns to everyone else. You all realize this is going to cause us a lot of trouble if we let him go.
Well, then it sounds like it is time for a vote. Those of you who deem that we let Captain Lycus go, they say aye.
Can I ask an above board question?
Sure.
What happens if they don't? I feel like they'd know.
There would be some form of punishment, some form of leaving Lycus with a lesson. Ollie, take off your headset for a moment. I was thinking we could do something like give him a reason to wear an eye patch.
Ah! Ah! Okay. Okay, I understand.
Okay.
Do we have some sort of probationary?
I want to be clear. I didn't hear anything until I saw the face of a button, and then what's going on?
It's usually a pretty good tell.
Carry him.
Okay.
So, the vote as it stands. Those in favor of Captain Lycus receiving punishment for breaking the rules of the Brethren Courts, say aye. And this, Zephyr raises his hand.
I think Bishop's gonna raise his hand.
You honor to ourselves by maybe imparting a lesson here. One that doesn't strip this young man of his dignity and sense of self, yes?
It'll also be an agreement over a probationary
I agree.
period.
Whether that be some sort of liaison to watch over and make sure that these things are taken care of. But Captain Lycus said something that I believe needs a follow-up. You choose this life for fun and for freedom. Those things are a part of this, but freedom and fun does not make you immune to consequence.
Indeed.
Never has. You learn that one way or another. Through happiness or cruelty is truly your own choice.
But he has the potential to lead a very, very good crew of pirates.
I very much see the same potential that you do, Captain.
I believe he should know that there are consequences to his actions, and that we are watching, and that should this ever happen again, we will not be so gracious.
I agree.
So, your vote.
No punishment.
No punishment. Lady Madichon,
We no punishments this time.
no punishment. Captain Olive.
In Santana, I have never made such a request. I hold Parley very near and dear, and I have lost some when Parley has not been upheld. I would ask a probationary period for Captain D. Stratus Jr.
So, as I understand it, we have two in favor of punishment now, and the rest in favor of postponing such consequence, providing. God, I'm getting into your accents.
So hard not to.
DM.
Oh my God. Providing that you do not repeat this offense in the immediate future. In that case, Captain Lycus, it seems that this court has voted that you will not suffer any punishments for your actions this time. Now, let me be clear about something. You were looking to defend your crew. And in that process, you took the life of a man. I can appreciate that you were hoping to merely keep the ones you love safe, but you crossed a line. I think it is important then that you be given a means of defending your crew, so that you do not need to be brought up here before us, so that perhaps you would feel more empowered as a captain. And as a show of good faith, that you would be willing to accept this court's leadership, as it seems you initially do not appreciate.
As was mentioned before, on a probationary period, I would like to know more about this group before I jump to...
Let me be clear, sir. Anyone who dares call themselves pirates is beholden to these laws. You and all of us here, as Captain Oli stated, these are laws meant to protect all of us. Captain Lycus, do you know what we call the kind of person who does not uphold these laws? Who does not agree to the terms set by his peers?
Or not?
A monarch. Is that what you wish to be?
With the paths you've shown, I think I very much would like to know more about what you see as piracy. I want to try.
Very well. Well then, if it please the court, I propose that Captain Lycus be returned to his crew. And I propose that we provide him the ability to see firsthand what the life of a pirate entails. Do we agree? I agree.
Aye.
Very well then. He holds a skull in his hand, the same black skull that you had touched before. And he goes, Captain Lycus, we have high hopes for you. Our numbers are not such that we can simply deny allies should one present itself. I am hoping that in the future you will learn to appreciate that we do what we do for all our sakes. Good luck to you and your crew. May fair winds find you. And he drops the skull. You watch it fall into the astral sea, and as it does so, your vision goes black once again. And you wake up kneeling before Rami's grave, the skull still in your own hands as it turns to ash, sand, and slips through your fingers. Lycus, you may go ahead and change your subclass to the Way of the Free Spirit.
Fuck yeah. I'm on it.
That's so
And
cool.
Oh man.
we are gonna call it here for today. as we have reached the end of our episode of Heroes of Hysteria Sandsea Saga, right here, Delta Cryptid Channel. I want to obviously give a special fucking thank you to Commune DM for showing up here.
Jill!
Thanks for having me,
Yes,
guys.
yes,
Oh
yes.
my god, yo.
Incredibly fun.
Instant fucking goosebumps. The moment Captain F started
Yo.
speaking. Like, it was
I appreciate it.
Oh,
gold, my friend.
Love.
I
I've
am
never heard
very
a pirate
forward.
before.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, you nailed it. You
Thank you.
nailed it.
killed it.
It was wonderful to be here.
Oh, guys, I'm very excited. I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited to see how things go with Captain Lycus going forward. My dog is here, and she is excited to see what happens next. If you want to see what happens next, you got to check us out here. Continue to watch these episodes as they drop. Delta Cryptid Channel, Sandsea Saga. Peace.